Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Gamer's Ledge. I'm your host, Mark, and also your DM for this evening. When last we were together, our merry menagerie of mischief makers found themselves beset upon by a troll and Sturges in the Yawning Portal Inn. After a few tense moments, the group emerged victorious and were given food and rooms should they desire them. They also met with Volo, a famous writer who admitted to the group that after a round of drinks with his friend Floon, he left and Floon never made it home. Volo implored them to help and gave each of them 10 dragons in advance and promised 10 times that per person if they can find Floon. And so the intrepid group of do-gooders set off in search of Floon, right? Absolutely. But first, it was time for a shopping episode. And in a city where it's mostly forbidden to practice magic in the open, our heroes used that magic to convince a poor retail worker that they had lost so much over the course of their adventures in order to get phenomenal deals they otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford. And we pick up with the menagerie after finally having registered and finished their shopping, or have they? It is now 3 p.m. in the afternoon. The griffins screech above as their riders patrol the skies, and the sun is starting to dip towards the ocean. And with that, we'll join the menagerie. Say hi to the nice people, Sean.
Hi, nice people. My name is Sean. I'll be playing Mythilus, the elfin arcane trickster.
And after Sean is Lou, but Lou is not yet joined us. He is playing a wizard, human wizard, and that brings us to Lexi. There you go.
I'm Autumn Oak, and I'm a druid tree.
There you go. A druid dryad, and then that brings us to Dan.
I'm trying to lower some better in the camera. Hi, my name is Dan. I'm playing Zek, a Yuan-Ti monk.
Yeah, hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Quark, the Aarakocran Ranger.
I'm JR. I'm playing the Azamar Bard.
And last but not least, working his mute right now, it's Eric.
I'm Eric. I'm playing Caleb, the half-elf sorcerer.
So, we had finished shopping, doing some money exchanging. You had registered, those of you that had magic abilities, which is everyone but Zakusu, pretty much. And I don't believe Quark did either, because he's a ranger.
Yeah, Quark was with me. Yeah. And actually, so was Itali, I think. But
because he's already
registered.
He's already registered, yeah.
So, it's 3 p.m. It is a beautiful day. It's not too hot, not too cold. What are you going to do with the rest of your day? Are you going
Do we know
to...
where the skewered dragon is?
That's a good question. Does anyone know where the skewered dragon is?
I know where it is.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, make a history check for me, JR.
History. Guess not.
No, that's good enough. You know,
okay.
It is on the southern part of the Way of the Dragon, the way you guys came up originally. So the street
back
that you're
back
on.
where we originally came in. We just keep going down the street.
In fact, I will mark it on your map right now where it is, since you know where it is. Give me 1 second.
The One Mark Tavern just south of the curio shop.
It is.
Look at that, already marked on a map. Why were you asking about this stuff?
So, is that where you're headed?
Well, I'd say it's before dinner, but after the lunch rush, we should have time to talk to the tavern keeper to at least try and get some kind of information about the flim-flamming of Floon.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go.
So you head southward down to the shop in question, or the tavern in question. And as you work your way there, one second. So as you start down the high road, are you going to stick completely to the high road, or are you going to go off the side on some of the side roads? How are you going to do that? Just kind of give me an idea.
I mean, we might as well stick to the main road, shouldn't we?
Is the high road so busy that we're going to be jostled and bumped, or can we make our way with relative ease?
It is pretty busy. I mean, I'm sorry, the Way of the Dragon. Both the high road and the Way of the Dragon, this is like, it never really lets up that much unless it's late at night. So, I mean, you can do it. It will probably just take you longer than if you, like, for example, go down Zastro Street over to Fillet Lane.
I was just thinking that we could take the high road down to the Zastro.
Okay. And so... Yeah, I'm not going to have everybody move their tokens on the map because we can do this in mostly Theater of the Mind. However, one of the things that happens is as you get to Pearl Alley and Zestro Street, actually probably Troll Crook Alley, because the road kind of hangs a left there, and as you turn that corner, you find yourselves on a street that's been cordoned off by the City Watch. Lying on the cobblestones are half a dozen corpses, seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish. Watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers sees you and says, "Get on, nothing to see here."
Do we recognize the people that they caught?
So it looks like, make me a perception check. And it's going to be a little harder because she's trying to get you to move on without really looking too much. 16. Yeah, you can definitely see that. You don't get to see all 3 of them, but you can see that 2 of the 3 of them for sure have that snake tattooed on the back of their neck.
I will move.
And so, just to be clear, basically what I'm saying about the being cordoned off, it's the Troll Crook Alley that's cordoned off. So you're kind of seeing the very end of it.
We're passing the alley.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to sage whisper to the group. It looks like that's part of that same gang. They have the same snake tattoo.
My problem.
And was the snake tattoo part of Xanathar's crew?
No, those generally are the peoples that have the eyes tattooed all over their head.
Eyes, that makes sense. All over their head?
Yeah, generally.
Oh, wow, okay.
Their heads, faces, necks.
I didn't know if the snake symbolized ice star. That was all.
Yeah, no
cool.
problem.
All right.
Are you guys moving on or staying to look?
Move. I don't want any trouble with the watch.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
As you are turning to continue on from the closed street, you suddenly hear a loud shout. "Get him!" You see 3 of the City Watch guards frantically scrambling to catch one of the bandits who sprung to his feet and is swiftly making his way out of the cordoned off street and right past you.
Yeah, I'll hit him.
I was about to say, I'll happily trip him.
Okay. Acrobatics or athletics, anybody that wants to attempt to stop him.
Natural 20 plus 9, I think.
23. Which is a 19.
So I think the ranger and I have him. Dead to rights.
Go ahead. No, Mythila said he was doing it too. Go ahead.
Yeah, do it, Nicholas.
No, I don't need to get my hands dirty.
No, fine. Yeah.
You saw
You saw the animals. You saw the animals jumping at him, and you're like, "Nope, I'm good."
Yeah. So basically, he tries to run past you guys, and Quark sticks out his claw and trips him, and then Daniel just holds his arm out and clotheslines him, and he goes flying, does a full backwards flip, and lands on the ground. Oh, you know what? He actually does get. Never mind. I'm sorry. He gets a athletics check against your stuff.
I think 29 was
I'm
the
I'm
total with my
sure. I'm sure, but you never know. Yeah. No, you still murder him basically.
So Zek will be holding him down with his 15-foot body.
And the three guards run up and quickly grab holds of him, and as they pick him up, he looks at you and spits on the ground. He says, "We'll remember that."
Please do. You have a tattoo that looks like me.
And the guards quickly drag the bandit back to his mates and throw him forcefully down on the cobblestone. A hard watch captain walks up to the party, and he looks at the two of you and says, "Good reflexes there. Thank you for the assistance, but a word of advice. Keep those weapons locked securely at your hip, and try not to get more of a reputation with these Zentarim scum. Let us deal with them. Move along now."
Not a problem. Thank you for your time.
At your service. And Zek will kind of give me an eye, and then we'll move to rejoin the group.
So you make your way down the rest of the Zastro Street. Eventually, you come to Fillet Lane, and you see.
Point of order.
Yes.
Did you mean to say Xanthian, or did you mean to say Zetian?
Zastro Street. It's just to the west of.
No. I mean, you said the something scum.
Oh, Zentarim.
Zentarim. Okay.
Yes, Zentarim.
That's
what he
another
said.
word. Okay.
Zentarim are the ones with the kind of snake drakes.
Oh, okay. I
on
wrote the
there.
wrong word down then. I wrote Zeet for some reason.
You're probably thinking Zakusu. I get it. It happens to everybody.
Well, they're snakes, I'm snakes.
As you round the corner to Fillet Lane, Zakusu, you are greeted by a giant purple friendly sight.
Of course I am.
Old Zoblob's shop is sitting there with the cloud of lavender scented purple smoke trailing out the shop's door. And you can see all of the purple items that have been dyed inside.
As I pass,
Mhm.
I'm going to lean my head in. And what was the name of the shop again? Sorry.
Old Zoblob.
I'll say, and that was the name of the man inside too, right?
Make me a history check.
Okay. Nope.
Yeah, you remember he told you some horribly long story when you were in there before, but you would be damned if you can remember what it is.
I'll lean my head in with a big smile and say, Father Purple, I just want to let you know that at Adventurers Welcome, they have a huge roll of brilliantly purple fabric.
Really?
Yeah. I was going to pick it up and bring it over for you, but sadly my friends and I are otherwise detained on another matter. But I figured I'd let you know.
Well, that's mighty kind of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day. And I'll continue.
Yeah, and from there, it's just a matter of if there's nothing further with him, it's just
that wasn't a lie, right? You
well,
tried to freak me out by telling me there was a giant thing of... Okay.
No, there was a giant thing of purple. Yeah. 100% real. So you do make it to the skewered dragon, and
Skewered dragon. Is there a cool sign up front?
Stand by one. You should be able to see the skewered dragon now.
Shoot, that place is a bit run down, huh?
Yeah, there is not a cool sign outside. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to tell that it was even.
Tavern at all.
You can tell it's a tavern, but not. I mean, it's very run down. It looks like it's never seen better days. That's the easiest way to say that. It's definitely
The type of place you'd expect to be kidnapped out of?
yes, that 100%. So
Why on earth were Volo and Floon in a place like this?
Volo actually strikes me as the type to get a lot of his stories from adventurers in places like this.
I don't know how honest those stories may be then.
Definitely not a place you would want to be flaunting coin.
Oh, before we go in there, does anyone have any items they want me to hold for them in the bag of holding? I forgot to ask while we were still at the store and when we left the store.
No,
And-
I think you were in charge of holding the rope that Lou got.
yeah, he actually turns to hold it out to you as the blue ball sucks him in and the rope falls to the ground.
Eventually I hope we get used to that. And I'll grab the rope and pocket it. And then I'm going to say, Quark. And I'm going to throw him the bag really fast. I'm going to practice that every once in a while. If the blue ball ever gets me, I'm going to have to throw this bag as quickly as possible.
Understood. Here you go. I'll return it.
Thank you. And I'll attach it back to my what's this called? A bandolier?
Yeah.
To my bandolier.
You know, I actually hadn't considered what would happen if you get sucked in while you're holding a bag of holding in the blue ball.
With us not knowing what the blue ball is, if it's an extra dimensional space, it's not a great idea.
It's great.
I was hoping that an amazing DM would roll a dex save for Zakusu if Zakusu gets sucked in. That might have him drop that.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like something a great GM would do.
An amazing GM.
Let me know if you find
I
one.
wish we had one.
Let me know if you find one.
All right. So do we
No.
hear anything coming from this inn?
You hear there's
Also, I texted you
okay.
on your phone.
Thank you. Everybody that wants to try and scope it out before actually going in, make me a perception check.
Oh.
What did you roll there, Lex? Autumn?
10.
10. So yeah. Quark.
11 for Zach. He's pretty busy.
Okay. Quark, Caleb, and Itali, you guys hear raised voices and possibly some cheering and a whole lot of talking and slurring, and it sounds like a tavern.
Don't hear anything particularly special going on. Seems to be general carousing and rabble-rousing and debauchery.
Okay.
Right.
How do you want to play this, Mrs.? You were kind of leading.
This is Itali's town, and this is Itali's town, and he's the talker.
Have you ever been
Alright.
to this tavern, Itali?
Have I ever been to this tavern? I've heard of it. Never really been inside it, but hey, once you've been in one tavern, you've been in them all, right?
That's the spirit.
As a circus entertainer, I can definitely say that's not true.
Well, if you
At
go into
some
one
places-
tavern where people like you, you've been into all of them, right?
Oh, true. I guess that's true.
All right, I will head on in. I'll lead the pack in.
Okay. Everyone going inside?
Um,
Autumn.
Are you going
Is
in,
Autumn
Autumn?
going? Is Autumn going inside?
No, I'll stay out.
Then Zek will also stay out.
Okay. And just as an FYI, that is something you may want to think about moving forward when you're in a large city like this. Splitting yourself off from the party could be bad in the wrong circumstances, just FYI.
Okay.
Okay. So Zek stays outside. Anyone else staying out, or everybody else going in?
I'll head in.
Is there, as not normally my character, well, I'm trying to think, is there an obvious entry that isn't the main entry?
Windows?
Judging,
Well-
judging from the state of this place, you basically have three choices: front door, a window on the second story, or the chimney. Those would be your three
Okay.
options.
So there's not
not like
really
a-
need to cover another exit. So in case somebody made a hasty retreat, that's what I was thinking about. So
Got it. No,
Okay.
they would
Yeah,
have to come
so-
out the front door.
all right, I'll go with the group and just kind of hang back.
Okay. All right. You open the door, and I mean, it's the inside matches the outside. Let's just put it that way. It's dingy. It's very dark, almost sooty inside would be the way that I would describe it. It's like the candles and lanterns, the coverings have not been dusted in ages, and so the light doesn't really penetrate that well. CD bar is what you would, typical description there. But when you guys walk in, all conversation and everything stops, and everyone turns to look at you. After 20 seconds or so,
I will dance a little jig, tip my hat, say thanks for the welcome.
Roll performance.
I have performance, actually.
yeah, roll performance actually.
It wasn't like a full performance. It was just a.
I know, but I want to see how they react to this. Yeah,
Poorly.
Dead. I mean, crickets. No reaction whatsoever. And then after about 25 seconds,
Wait. After seeing that, I will try the same performance, but
Is
better.
this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello?
yeah, no,
Slightly better.
same thing. I mean, still crickets. And yeah, they just after 20 seconds of dead silence and staring at you, they kind of go back to murmuring, but it's definitely not as loud as it was before. There's probably maybe, I don't know, 35 people in here, about 5 at the bar, and other people kind of in booths, but it's yeah.
Is there an open table or booth?
There's an open booth, yeah.
Or a couple of them for a party this size?
Yeah.
What do we got? 6 going in?
Yeah.
5?
There's a big booth you could all fit in, big end booth that's open that you could get all fit into if you wanted to.
Well, I think there's 4 or 5 of us. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is the blue orb with us?
The blue orb is outside with Autumn and Zek.
I think it
Okay.
makes a sudden thumping sound though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. And suddenly Leonardo is in the street as you are spat out of the blue ball.
Never get used to that one.
Oh, that was, I think, the fastest we've seen it take someone in and put somebody out.
Getting
Where are
faster.
we? How long's it been?
Maybe half an hour?
Oh,
Here, and he hands, Zek will hand Leonardo back the rope. It looks, when you disappeared, you dropped this. I think it was in your hand at the time.
oh, thank you very much. And I'll throw it back around and over my shoulder and keep it wrapped around me, almost like a scarf.
And Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was
No,
just
I
going to
was-
say, find yourself standing in a street in the seedy part of town in front of probably the seediest looking tavern that you've ever seen.
Excellent.
Did it open? Were you connected to Roll20?
No.
Okay. Let me show this one more time there. Did it just pop up on your screen?
Yep. And well, I can see it on the
Okay, there you go.
street.
The rest of Autumn and Zach are standing outside. Well, as much
Everybody
as
else
both of
went
us can
inside.
stand. Everyone else went inside to ask questions about Flim Flam. If you have any additional questions.
Hey, good. No, I'll very tentatively keep an eye out outside, paying attention for any type of traps or ambushes.
Got it.
Be a little bit on edge.
So inside party, what do you guys? Are you beelining for a booth, or are you? What's the plan here?
I'd say
Is
let's
there
go
a tavern
for it.
wench serving drinks, or do we have to go to the bar?
If you take a seat, there will be the wenches serving maids are passing out drinks, and there are guy wenches too. Equal opportunity.
I was gonna say, in a place like this, there are definitely wrenches, and they probably definitely have both. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go
I'll
get
take
a
a
booth.
seat.
Is there, as we walk through, is there even a chance that I'd be able to see if anyone has the snake tattoo on them?
Sure. Make a perception check. Yeah, you don't see any of them actually,
Okay.
and you manage to clock maybe 10 people as you're heading towards the booth. No tattoos on the backs of necks that you can see, and likewise no eye stalk tattoos either.
Any narwhal tattoos?
No narwhal tattoos either.
All right, pirates aren't hanging out here either. All right.
There is one guy with a Norbert tattoo. It's actually up his neck. It says Norbert.
Well, as long as it's not a Ziggy tattoo, we're good.
Yeah, no, you're good.
All right.
You guys get to the booth. After a couple minutes, serving person comes. Not overly attractive. Not somebody very hardworking, and this is all they do. But the years have been rough to them. And she asks what you would like for your order.
5 tankards of your favorite ale.
She nods, and she goes off and comes back with 5 tankards of possibly the worst ale you've ever had in your life.
Ugh,
It is.
thanks.
It's foul, dirty sock water. That would be a good way to, so beer, basically.
Mm.
All right. And we're here to get information on Floon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is this like his last known location, or why exactly are we here again?
Yeah, this is the
yeah.
tavern he was with Volo with. So this is the last
Volo.
place he was seen.
Well, it's all
And he
you can
was-
do to engage her in some happy conversation, maybe become friendly.
I will do just that. Before she heads off and before we even take a drink of this and spit it out in front of her,
Mhm.
let's go ahead and ask her some questions. Excuse me, I was wondering if you're familiar with a man named Floon?
She says, "Sorry, got to get to these tables," and she rushes off.
All right, well, looks like she doesn't know anything, or she's really, really shy. Maybe we shouldn't have done that jig at the start of this. I think that's hurting us.
I'm certain the jig had nothing to do with it. This place doesn't look like it was inviting to begin with. Accidentally take a sip of the ale again?
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh,
I mean,
why did I do that?
you've fed horses trough water that was 12 steps above this.
Okay, so as soon as I asked that question about Flume, is anybody like looking up at us?
So, as a reminder, because D&D is one of those games, there are skills that you can use to kind of try to see what people are thinking too, just for future reference.
Insight's really good for that.
Yeah.
If you want to get a read, JR, on the waitress as she was running away, you could roll insight to see.
Ah,
Oh, yeah. No, as you start to look around, you realize she's the only one you see right now. Like before, when you guys were walking in, you saw like a couple, 3 serving people. She's the only one on the floor right now. And there are people like with their fingers up in the air trying to get her attention. So she's swamped. So it's not like she was dodging your question. You kind of determined that she's just swamped.
but as soon as I asked the question, did anybody else anybody overhear us, start looking at us? Nothing.
No. Everybody seems preoccupied either with their own drinks or the conversations they're currently in.
Okay.
If given my backstory as a constable, I want to survey the crowd. Would that be an investigation?
Yeah. What are you looking for particularly?
Looking for just people that seem like they're overly nervous or looking like they might be up to no good, more so than the average up to no good person is probably up to in this place.
I mean,
Occasional going to be sensing us.
Yeah, occasional glances at you guys, because obviously, especially you, Quark. But I mean, nothing more than you would expect, I guess is the best way to say that. You're not sensing anybody that looks like they're about to bolt out of their chair or bolt from their standing conversations or bolt from the bar, that kind of thing. In fact, you get the opposite. Like if you were going to try and put your finger on the pulse, this is a local keep with local people who all know each other, and you guys are the outsiders that just came in and danced 2 jigs in the door. That's kind of the yeah, and that's kind of the read you're getting.
Okay.
Anybody gambling?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple people gambling. It's dice. And that's really it. There's a couple of people playing dice, and that's about it.
I'm assuming they're playing with nibs.
They are playing with nibs, yeah.
Well,
is there a barkeep here?
You don't see one behind the bar.
All right, so just a waitress. I'm going to raise my hand again, like I'm ordering something.
Okay. She has like 7 flagons, and she's kind of going past the table. She like pauses for a second. What do you need, love?
What do you have to eat here?
I'll be right back. And she continues on to drop those off. When she comes back, she says, we have pretzels.
That's it?
Bread.
You know what? Get this Birdman some bread. He needs bread, and I need some more questions answered. And I need them answered before. I know you're busy. I just need them quick because my bird friend here is really nervous, and just want to get him out of here faster.
Yeah, she notices you're a bird for the first time, and you can see she looks rather discomforted by that fact.
I'm sure you want him out of here as soon as you can. I mean, you just wait till he spreads his wing. I mean, make a mess of things. And so I'm trying to persuade her to answer my questions. So
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. If I were to do this, would it give him advantage on this roll if I pull the rat out of my satchel and start eating
God,
it at the
yes.
table?
Yes,
Okay,
that would
I pulled the
100%
rat
give him-
out of the
Yes.
out of
Wow,
my
you guys
satchel
are
and start
awful.
eating it.
You guys
so
are
then
horrendous.
so then I roll with advantage or normal?
With advantage.
All right. Let's see, persuasion. Yeah.
So, okay. Stand by one. Because I think I forgot something. Stand by.
You forgot where Floon was?
No.
Oh wait, he's at this table back here, guys.
Yeah, he's right
Mission
there.
accomplished.
Right there. Easy peasy. Yeah, okay. I did forget something. Stand by.
All right.
The reason I asked about gambling was because I was going to meander over there. And
Yeah. You're basically eggs has been blocked by the stunt that they're pulling right now. So hold on one second.
If someone wants to try to persuade the waitress, the whole bar explodes.
No, it's that I need something from another map, and so I got to take all you guys to that map. Copy.
D&D Beyond, guys.
Yeah, no, roll 20.
And Mark, just so you know, on the stream, we're seeing the attachments and stuff, not the rolls. Okay, just
Thank
letting you know.
Yep. Let's see.
You're showing us all the attachments.
There we go. And then we'll move all the players here. This is my fault. I actually forgot that I actually did have a map for you guys. But I think I need a torch. Copy.
Well, if it means anything,
No, I can
I
see
always
you.
carry a torch for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There we go. And suddenly the stream and everyone else can see things. Okay. Okay. And the worst part is the thing that I needed is not here, I think. Fantastic.
Hold on, guys. He needs to go find 3 beholder tokens.
Oh, no, it is here. Yeah, I just was on the wrong screen. Okay. So, she says, what do you want? What do you want? What do we need to do here? I don't want...
We don't want to give you any trouble. We're just trying to find the last whereabouts of Floon and, you know, what he was doing here before he left the last time he was here.
Okay. So, everybody can see the map, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to... You guys are kind of in this booth up here at the top. Oh, not Zek. I know Zek's on the screen. That's just so you can see him.
Zek's there in spirit.
Right.
I'm here. With here.
Yep.
Oh, I can't move you guys.
It's fine. Quark. And... Who am I missing inside? Caleb, it's only the 4 of you.
Yeah, it's under the 4th.
Okay. Yeah. Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And you 3 are outside. Perfect. So, she says, I, who are you looking for?
Floon?
Floon.
Handsome human.
Handsome human.
She turns and she points to a nearby table, and there is a dwarf. You can see he's got broad shoulders, a smoothly oiled black beard, and a multitude of different silver rings on his stubby fingers. And she says, Silverhand might know.
Thank you.
I
Or
have
hurry
no
up and
idea.
eat your. We will be taking that bread though, but at least
I
we
finished
got
it.
Oh. Oh man, he's gonna throw that up later. Let's see. All right, so guys, now we have kind of a lead. So let's get going to that table. Is Silverhand by
Hold on.
himself?
Hold on. As she's leaving,
Yeah.
I will. Let's see.
Yeah, several
I
points
will-
of order. The reason I asked the question was because I wanted to go over to the guy's gambling long before they started eating rats at the table.
Yeah, well, you didn't get a chance to do that because they kind of blocked the waitress off from being able to do that, from you being able to get out. So this all kind of happened in this order of events. You can still go over there if you want. She's left, unless, well, somebody said point of order. I don't know, Eric, what you wanted to do before she left.
Before as she's leaving, I put 5 dragons on her tray.
Jesus.
She
Quits.
Yeah, she says. She looks at you for a hard moment, and the look is like you're not sure if she's going to kiss you or hit you. And then she bows a small curtsy. Thank you, my lord. And she hurries off to get bread.
Quark feeling before she does that. Quark feeling quite guilty follows suit because it was a dirty trick.
You also bow and say thank you, my lord.
No.
it goes to the
The dragon part, the additional. I'll addition another 5 dragons to the tray.
She
Probably-
That was a dirty
turns.
trick.
She turns and she looks at all of you. She says, "This is the weirdest night I've ever had. Waiting tables, but thank you, my lord." Bird. Person.
Bird.
Mazel tov.
Sorry for the theatrics.
It's all right. I'll
Are
be
the
back
other
with.
patrons noticing this interaction?
Not really. No.
Okay, cool.
So Silverhand or Silverbeard, whatever, is he
Silverhand.
like by himself? Silverhand. Is he by himself?
He
Or
is.
is
He is by himself,
he has that whole booth to himself?
Yep.
All right.
and he's got a flagon in each position, as if he was drinking with friends, but you see no friends.
Poor guy.
And Sean, you had. I will give you first action since you were kind of
Grossed out.
and railroaded.
I actually want to meander over to the gamblers. Strike up a conversation, pardon me, to see if I can play with them.
Sure, they let you in. I mean, what are you saying to them? It's kind of down in the bottom right. Down.
Well, I'm also going to use Thieves' Cant. Is there any markings in this building to show that it's part of the guild, or that there's anything that would convey to me that the Thieves Guild has any affiliation with this tavern?
Great question. 100% not.
That is an amazing question. Yeah.
Yeah, you see no kind of markings. This is, I mean, you see a red was here in Thieves' Cant, and that's about it.
What was the name?
Red was here.
Just in case. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just casual conversation, try to get in the mood. Do they all have ales, or what are they drinking?
One of them's not drinking. Another one is drinking an ale. I mean, you'd be surprised if they actually had anything other than ale here, to be honest.
Well, I did order 5 flagons apparently, so I will. The extra one I'll give to the guy who's drinking. Is he almost empty?
No, but you can give it to him anyways if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I ordered one too many. Somebody want an ale?
Oh, he says, I'll take that. And he
Hand it
grabs-
right off.
Yep. And they,
Mind if I get in on this game?
sure. The price is a little high. It's 5 nibs.
It's a little steep, but I think I'll join you if possible.
All right. And
And when it's my turn, I will use sleight of hand to intentionally lose.
very good.
So I'll lose a couple, and then I'll just to try to create some camaraderie.
Got it. And also, I'm going to have you roll performance for me.
Oh, crap. Here we go again.
This isn't going to be helpful.
Yeah. Okay. When you are trying to win, the guy
I'm
that's
trying to lose.
no,
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying if you do like you lose a few and then you try to win a few, etc. When you do try to win, the guy that's not drinking, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not trying to win at all.
Okay.
Like, if I happen to win, then I'll win, but I intentionally lose a couple
Okay.
with sleight of hand.
Yeah, I get it. I'm talking about after the couple that you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. It's it's 5 minutes.
So that's fine. So you're there doing that. The waitress runs by with bread, and unlike everything else in this place, it seems to be hot, fresh bread.
Ooh.
As she drops it off at the table and said, "My lords," and then continues on.
Don't mind if I
There's a
do.
reason it's hot and fresh at the table.
That's right.
10 seconds to her, is it?
Are the 3 of you going over to Silverhand, or just
you paid
one of
for
you?
her. You paid for her kids to go to Strixhaven.
Brookhaven to School for Magic the Gathering?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be D&D this September.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll
I-
go over with.
I'm gonna try to, I guess, use insight to see if this dude like alone and sad, or is he alone like he's waiting for somebody,
Sure.
or is all that just for him?
Yeah, you see him talking to himself, and he's pretty bubbly, would be the way I would describe it at a distance. And then he actually starts to furrow his brow, and he looks like he's deriding someone, and then he takes the beer next to him and drinks it, the whole thing at once. And then he turns to the other side of him, and he's talking to somebody who doesn't seem to be there, and he's bubbly again, and then eventually things get tense, and you see the same thing happen. He's now finished with the second one.
All right, I will approach him then.
Okay? Are you going as
Silver-
well, Caleb?
Yes.
Very good.
And I'm going to talk to him like we're old friends.
What do you say?
All right.
There you are, Silverhand. How long has it been?
He looks up, and he scratches his head for a moment. He says, "Too long, my friend." What's it been, 10 years?
Oh, at least. What have you been up to? May I sit? These are my companions here, Quark and Itali. Let's spend the night drinking and carouse.
He stands up, and he sticks his chin out, and he plants 2 fists on the table, and he points to each one of the 3 of you. He says, "You want something. I can tell. What do you want to lose? Your coins or your consciousness?
Neither.
Say one may
I
fall
want to
down.
gain a friend. And I will try to persuade him that I just want to be friends.
Okay. You can tell that he's maybe 2 1/4 sheets to the wind, not all 3.
Right?
And he says, anyone who knows me knows that there's only 2 things that Silverhand Solomon likes. And that's fighting or Sava.
What's that last one?
The 3 of you roll me a history check.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
All 3 of you know that it's a odd drow version of chess. And the basic gist is that 2 players play against each other using kind of ebony pieces to resemble drow warriors, mages, and priestesses. And the goal is to destroy the opposing player's noble house. And it's a game of deception and skill and insight. And a general game takes roughly 30 minutes. And basically, that's the game. So it's kind of like drow chess is what he's alluding to there, which is weird for a dwarf in the middle of a
For hill dwarf, yeah, that's a deep reach too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can play this game if you like.
All right. If I win, I'll be taking 10 gold from you, Trend Dragons. But what are the terms if you win?
You will
Yeah, go ahead.
drink with us and answer our questions for 1 hour, as congenial as you can be.
He snorts. He says, Fine. If it's information you're after, ain't none of these darn fools are gonna tell you nothing you can believe. But I will tell the truth if you can beat me. Which one of you is playing?
I'll play.
Okay. He slides into the booth. He produces a board and pieces. And the way we're going to do this is thus. You're going to make 3 rolls.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an intelligence check, a charisma deception check, and then a insight check. And we'll add all 3 of them together. So first one is an intelligence check.
Ooh, that's gonna suck.
Yep. Oh, not a save. A check.
Oh, a check.
Yeah, so just click on intelligence.
Well, good thing is that one was wasted on that.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Okay.
I love you, JR.
Please don't do that to me.
Make a deception check.
Deception.
Okay.
Ooh, not rolling good today.
And then a insight check.
Insight. Wow, I guess I wasted all my good rolls in doing
7.
perception checks and history checks today.
So that's a total of 19. So now we'll do Silverhand's rolls here. So first his intelligence check. Well,
Yeah.
I don't need to roll the others. You make your first move, and he immediately moves one of the pieces across the board and says, "Game over." And he holds his hand out for the 10 gold.
Go
For the
on,
10
Caleb.
10
Give him
dragons.
the 10 gold.
I say it's a hustle, but Jeez, guys.
How about double or nothing?
He downs one of the third flagon by him, and he says, "I will take that bet."
All right,
All
Cork.
right.
Here
So
we go.
what? Intelligence.
Wait. Before he starts doing all this rolling, I'm gonna give Quark bardic inspiration.
What are you? How are you giving him bardic inspiration?
You can do it.
You need to beat this guy because that was terrible of me. Avenge me.
Avenge me.
Okay, take your inspiration. What is the inspiration for him? Is it D4?
Let's see. Yep, D4.
So you get to add a D4 to your intelligence check.
All right. So intelligence check is that and a D4.
So that's 12. And now a deception check.
Deception.
Mm-hmm. And now a insight check.
Insight.
Woo!
I was very inspired to avenge.
Yeah. Silverhand looks at your opening gambit and has no idea what's going on. 1d20. Yeah. You see what he's. You can tell he's pretty wasted at this point. And so, you do your opening gambit and he just completely misreads it. And within 3 turns, you've taken his house. And he just stares at the board. He's like, "You're the best Saba player I've ever seen, Birdman."
You are a worthy opponent, my good Silverhand. I appreciate the game.
So now I have to drink for 2 hours with you? Done!
And none of us having drank any of our ale, hand him our ale.
Yeah.
So what questions are you going to ask of him?
Yeah, Quark, what questions?
So, we have been entreated to find one missing gentleman by the name of Floon Bagala. And we understand that this was a place he last was seen what was it, 3 days ago? Shoot. Notes are failing me.
Two nights ago.
Two nights ago. 2 nights ago, he was here along with Volo, who you may know, the chronicler of these parts. And we were trying to determine if you had any information about what may have happened to him that evening.
What happened to Volo? Yeah, he was here for a while, and then he left.
Okay, what about the gentleman he was with? Floon Bagala?
Yeah, Floon was here with Volo, and they were drinking, and then Volo left. And then Floon stuck around, and he met with Renair and Never Ember.
Never Ember.
And Itali, make me a memory roll.
Is that history?
History, yeah, sorry.
Let's see. Where? There it is. Oh.
Yeah, you know exactly who it is. Stand by. I'm going to share this to you. There you go. So, yeah, you know exactly who Renair Neverember is. He's the son of the former Open Lord of Waterdeep and the current Lord of Neverwinter.
Oh wow. So he was hanging around some big names then.
Yeah, you also know that most of the city hates his father because they believe that he stole a huge amount of money from the treasury, and it hasn't been found to this day.
Do you know what they were meeting about?
He says meeting. Well, I don't know if they're meeting. They were drinking and playing Three Dragon Ante, and I think they left about midnight. And there were like 5 guys that followed them out, and I don't know what. I didn't see Floon or Renair again after that.
Do you know the gentlemen or the individuals who followed Renair and Floon out?
No.
Did you recognize them? Notice anything particularly interesting about them?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen them since they left, but I think those guys are pretty prone to frequent less than desirable establishment / warehouse on Candle Lane, if you catch my drift. You just got to look for the snake symbol on the door.
Oh, so one could say they are a member of that organization? The one that would be emblematic by a snake.
He does this to you.
I understand. I have mustard on my beak. Thank you for letting me know.
He tries to grab your beak in a like also trying to wipe it off kind of way, but more just like palming your face.
Ooh. Thank you.
And then and then he licks his hand. He's probably 4.5 sheets now.
Tully, are you familiar with this location that he's speaking of? Snakes obviously make us think of the gang, which I've now already forgotten the name of again.
Darn.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Maybe? Let's see. Go to the old memory hole. Here we go.
You're not you're not sure exactly where it is, but you know where Candle Lane is, and you know where the warehouses are on Candle Lane.
If it's anything like these people are, we'll just go to this street and look for a bunch of snake tattooed people. I'm sure they're hanging out there.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you so much, Silverhand. We are grateful for the information and the gamemanship.
As he passes out on the table.
He's asleep on the table.
Itali, why don't you go retrieve Mythilus? I'm going to go pay for this gentleman's evening. And I'll go find the bar lady. And how much does he owe?
He owes 2.5 dragons.
I'll give her a solid 3.
She says, "You're welcome back here anytime."
Hey, not knowing the value of money.
Yay!
I'm gonna go give Mythilus. Like, where is he at exactly?
Mythilus is in the bottom right corner.
Bottom right corner. All right, I'll just go about halfway, yell, "Noble boy, let's go."
Dang it! I was trying to blend.
You don't blend, sir.
While they're having the conversation, I'll just, if I don't know, do I get these guys to start being friendly with me? or-
Yeah, they're friendly with you, but you can tell that they are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they
Their bar,
recognize
I'm
that you're
assuming.
slumming.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to bring up, a few days ago I was drinking with Volo and Floon, and I found Volo again, but I haven't seen Floon. Ask him if they'd heard of Floon or Volo, if they'd seen him around at all. Just casually, not like in your face. Hey, where's Floon?
Yeah, no, they basically say, sorry, my lord, no idea.
Well, thank you for the game, gentlemen.
Thank you, my lord.
How much did that cost me?
Like by the time everything was said and done, a dragon.
Hmm?
By
A
the time
dragon?
everything, was said and done, a dragon.
Okay.
Your Honor.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
Playing for nibs?
he lost a lot.
All right, let's meet up with the rest of the party outside.
All right, you managed to exit without any kind of commotion or ruckus, and as you go out, it's like, how you've been in a dark room for a long time, and then you go outside, and or better yet, you're exiting a movie theater and you expect it to be dark outside, but it's light. That's exactly the feeling that you get when you exit this bar.
I don't know. Haven't been to a movie theater in a year and a half.
Yeah,
Kind of hard to remember that.
yeah, it's a thing.
How was that one last week?
Oh, man, I gotta go see Green Knight. But anyways, let's meet up with everybody, adjust our eyes to this.
And the
Tree.
rest, Autumn and Zek, everybody comes out of the bar, looking no worse for wear,
And Leo.
and Leo.
I think Leo got sucked back into the portal.
He's there.
He's sort of
Did you guys find anything out?
Well,
yes.
The ale
Yeah.
is terrible, as I pull out my flask and take a small swish.
they got good bread.
That's actually
Oh,
kind
about
of rare.
Floon. Yes, about Floon.
Yes.
About Floon, yes, we found out that after Volo left the establishment, he met with a Renar Neverember, who Atali seems to know, a former noble of this location. Not the most liked fellow, but he met with them and they left about midnight, but were followed up by 5 individuals who appear to have been members of the Canal Gang, and they are most likely held up in a warehouse down on Candle Lane that should bear the marking of the snake.
Did Neverember, is this a place he frequented often? If he was a noble, this place doesn't look like it's...
I do not know. Our source fell asleep mid-questioning.
You guys were doing a really good job of questioning.
Thank you. We did our best.
We don't know
he
how
was-
long you've been drinking before we got here.
He was well
Well-
encumbered before we encouraged his consumption.
Just gonna say.
So let's go down to the street and investigate more.
Well, so I have a question about that. We've now been in the city for less than a day and have been encountered by officers giving us warnings multiple times. Should we let the constabulary or whatever the city calls their people take care of this issue? Especially if a noble that you said Neverember, if he's
Yes.
involved? Shouldn't we try to at least let the guards take care of this?
Probably
Atali?
not. I think we should take care of it, because do we really want the police to get the gold, or do we want the gold?
Well, we were hired to find out where he is.
Yeah.
We have found out where he is. I can't say we're not going to get paid because we tried to have the guards in the town take care of crime in the town. At least try. If the guards say that they're too busy, but it is your town, Natalia. I will move to your better judgment. If you don't think they're capable, or if the officers of this town would, just not care about a nobleman and this Floon going missing, then you would know better than I would.
All right. Well, let's.
Itali,
Go ahead.
look at your messages. In roll 20.
I'm seeing. I'm reading.
No, there's Kendall Lane. It's close.
If cases like this put their people in danger, they may not investigate.
If cases like this put their people in danger? Oh, like in fighting the gangs or whatever?
Yeah. Like, we just took down a dragon, a frog monster,
My
a
fear
mind
is
controlling druid.
the
We
majority.
got this.
My fear is the majority of you wield magic. We're within the gates and lines of this town where you have been told not to use magic. Unless all of you can pull out a blade and use that blade with efficient nature, I'm afraid you're going to be forced to do things that we're going to get in trouble for.
We've already done that. We let Meepo die.
Stand by 1 second, JR.
Okay.
When did you use magic?
Adusu, I understand your reticence to head down this path, but we should probably make sure that the noble is there before reporting it to the Watch. Because if the Watch goes to investigate, they find that nothing is amiss, then we've also sullied our own name.
Plus, this is a really big city. Like, if I can tell you one thing about this city, is that people use magic without it ever being detected. As long as we're not caught and we're careful, we should be fine.
And here's where we cut to the next scene, which is all of us in prison.
Nah.
I was sure we were fine. Like I said, this is your town. And Mythos, you seem like you've been to a lot more large towns. When my group passed through, we usually went along the outskirts and people came to us. So, if you really believe that this is the smarter move, then awesome. I'll back you.
We should try to stay within the bounds of legality, but given we may not be given a choice, I agree. We should at least scope this place out and take action.
At this point, it's merely intelligence gathering. Zakusu, we're not. If we have to defend ourselves, then defend ourselves we must. But nobody's talking about attacking anybody.
I've only known you for a couple of weeks at this point, I believe, maybe even a handful of days. But gathering intelligence is not something this group does well.
I will have a chuckle at that.
We tend to involve ourselves very quickly, and
Well,
often
look at that.
without looking.
Look at that. You've seen this man get close to death, and here we are, still friends. We can get through everything together. Let's move.
Together, we're gonna find our way.
JR.
I'm gonna imagine that the Kuzu is actually, or not the Kuzu, but Quark is actually singing that as we walk away. Like, he loses his accent and everything.
Itali, take inspiration for your impassioned plea.
Oh wait, I don't know how to do this.
Oh, you don't do anything with it right now.
Oh,
it's later. Hold on.
I've already revealed it.
No. Oh, did you? Okay, hold on.
Yeah. I'll take another one. I mean, I'd like to keep it because it's pretty high, but
yeah, no, sorry.
No, he uses it right now. Hey
I'm
guys,
so
I think it's this
inspired.
way.
There we go. Okay.
You
Candle
just-
Lane, seriously, just like 3 streets south of us.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Do I just drag it to my name or something?
Nope. You just hold on one second. Oh,
All right.
So it's going to be above your thing, and you'll make a roll and decide if you want to use that inspiration with the roll, and then you'll flip the card and add that to your roll.
right.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And also, Dan, you got one as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so, as you approach down Candle Lane, the buildings.
Going right now? It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Are you going right now, or are you not going? Because everybody
That's
seemed to
actually
be.
That was actually what it sounded like. We're gaining intelligence. I didn't know you were going at night. But this is, again, more your lane than it is mine.
If you guys want to go check out the way? I mean, we could just walk past it. Maybe one of us could just walk past it. I wouldn't.
I'm gonna say by the time you guys get out of there
Where?
and you start heading towards Candle Lane, it is actually just past dusk by that point.
Where is it?
It's literally, if you look at
Like-
Nethelus's character,
Like an
It's
inch below
an
Mephiles.
inch
yeah.
below, yeah.
It's
Just
the first horizontal name.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's right off. That's a gang warehouse, literally right off of the Way of the Dragon.
Yes, it is.
They parked themselves right next to the highway.
Well, if they're highwaymen,
Ha!
Ba-dum-bum. I would think that Quark could actually pretend he's lost, trying to find the way of the dragon. I mean, honestly. And possibly just meander around, and if he's questioned, just ask for directions to the way of the dragon.
What's the animal situation in this town, Mark?
There are animals, horses, sometimes more exotic stuff, but for the most part, it's just horses.
What about rodents and cats and
Yeah,
dogs?
I mean, you do see the occasional rat. There are cats and dogs as well, yes.
Occasional or all over the place?
is our good Pooch still with us? I guess I should ask that as Matt, not Quark. What
I
happened to
think
the
you-
Pooch?
Didn't you leave him at that yawning portal?
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
You're lost.
They're like, they're not, I don't know how to say that. It depends on the section that you're in, and in this section, they are occasional, not all the time,
Okay.
for dogs and cats.
Zek is going to strip down and put all of his stuff into the bag of holding,
Mhm.
and then quickly toss the bag of holding at Atali and say, "Atali,
Hits him in the face. Thunk.
And you
trying
get,
to get your
and Zach gets sucked into the blue ball.
I'm trying to get your guys' reflexes up so that if this ever happens when I get sucked into the blue ball, you'll be able to catch it." And he will.
Can you just drop it?
He'll probably no. It's a bag full of our stuff. You want me to just drop it wherever I'm standing? You mean
Yeah,
I didn't
that way it
realize?
doesn't. That way it doesn't get sucked. I mean, if you
There was
if
one time.
if you hit Quark in the face, it's gonna be just the equivalent of dropping it on the floor.
There was a time where people got sucked into the blue ball hanging from a rope over a chasm.
This is true.
Zek, you worry too much about the future. That's future Zek's problem. Worry about the Zek now.
So,
Okay.
so the bag hits Matt or Quark in the face and falls to the ground.
No,
No, Atali. He threw it at Atali.
Oh, he threw it at Atali. My bad. So yes,
Atali,
even
that's
more
why
so.
Atali was saying. That's why Atali was saying, "Don't throw that at me, man."
Yeah, definitively, it falls to the ground. And
Zek's going to shapeshift into a medium-sized snake
okay,
of like deep browns and grays, and he will look for storm, storm. Why is my brain storm drains that go up the side of the building?
Ah, okay.
Downspouts?
Rain gutter.
Downspouts.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not to it just yet. I was going to kind of set the
Oh, okay. I thought you
Here.
were describing it. Okay.
scene. Not yet. So basically, the buildings here on either side of the lane are so tall and so tightly packed together that light only touches the street at high sun. And gloom kind of envelops a narrow alley as dark as a dungeon, and an odorous one, too. Nearly all the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness here is a faint flickering from down the lane like a distant candle. And we're going to move you to a map. It's a map. It's a map. It's a map. Oh, no. No, 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 no. We don't want all the...
Oh no. Oh no.
What's it?
Oh no.
Somebody has kids on TikTok.
Copy.
I wish it was just my kids.
Touche.
Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Who am I missing? I'm missing. Oh no. I can't. There we go. Almost there. You know, this is the one thing I could probably do in advance and I always forget to do. And that is place you guys on the maps I need you to be on.
It's actually a pretty hard habit to get into.
It is. Okay, so I'm missing Autumn. Copy.
Oh, wrong genre.
That's my tomorrow game.
That is 2 of 7 done.
Congrats.
Oh, you know what? I need...
Inspiration.
Huh?
Nope, I just need a torch.
Ah.
Copy.
He needs a hero.
I got eight. I
The
got eight
number
of
of
those.
The number of times that song was used in a very short period
Yes.
for things was pretty amazing.
There we go. Okay. So, as you proceed down the alleyway, I believe you will all find yourselves in the top left of this map. I think. Yep. Top left. Did you find it, Autumn? Okay. Okay. So, let's see what I got here. What you can see from on the outside here before you start
Yep.
removing all your clothes is that this building is a ramshackle 2-story warehouse. The warehouse stands at the back of an outer yard behind a high fence. A quick glance shows that the gate on the fence isn't locked, and you see 3 points of entry: a front door, a large warehouse loading door, and a painted over window. Those seem to be your 3 best options.
It's past dusk, so it's dark. Is it cloudy, starry? Is there a moon?
You wouldn't know because the buildings here are so packed. You can't really. It's incredibly dark back here, except for the one street lamp that was still lit out front up the hill here.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If would Quark, looking at the situation, think him getting some elevation could enhance their reconnaissance efforts?
It's very possible.
Zach, you had something?
I just had a question about the ground.
Yeah.
Is it a dirt ground? Is that why we're seeing a couple planks on the ground?
It's actually, that's a bit of a hill. So it's kind of like a walkway that's going down the incline.
Okay. And the area that looks like it has posts.
Right. So that's the gate I was talking about.
Okay. And the gate is made of what?
Iron.
Iron. And
Or chain. Yeah. Basically it's an iron post gate.
so like, if they were to pass by it, people inside would be able to see them passing by the iron post gate.
That's correct. If you saw anyone, if anyone was inside watching, they would be able to see it. Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Does anyone have any ideas? I'm thinking about going into a smaller form and taking a peek.
Well, I was thinking if I flew up a bit, maybe I could get a better lay of the land. Get some ideas if there's a tower I could post on.
I don't know. What if like somebody sees you as a target and just starts?
I'm going to ask also a dumb question that would probably, common sense would have hit you. Do you have dark vision?
I do not, but
And
I was hoping that, standard normal.
You could just take like 30 torches with you and just throw them,
Just start throwing torches all over town. That should work well. Okay. I mean, if
not
it's too dark for me to see.
Yeah, it's really dark back here. Like, you're surprised, that it's just past dusk, but in this entire alley, not just here, it is incredibly dark because of how tall the buildings are. It's basically preventing the light from hitting the street and the surrounding areas, and how packed they are.
So the folks without dark vision are having a hard time seeing in here anyway.
Correct.
I mean, if you throw torches, it's not considered using magic, so the cops won't come after you.
And as soon as he says that, Lou gets sucked back into the blue spark. Leonardo.
Okay.
Sucked back into the...
Oh no!
Did his rope get sucked into?
No, it falls to the ground.
Okay.
Who has the bag? You still have the bag because we retconned the whole bag throwing thing, right?
No.
Look at that. It just fell on the ground.
The rope?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll pick it up and put it in the bag since I still have it.
Yep. And Zeker's going to turn into a snake. And because he does have dark vision, he's going to go down and go through the iron gate.
And as soon as you cross the threshold for the iron gate as a snake, we're going to take our 20-minute break, and we'll be back.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Da, da, da.
Shake your body.
You can't sleep when I do. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep when I do. Let's not sleep together.
It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Time's getting worse. Our exploratory diving bell escape the money is here in Perry. Wong and his assistant Mary Nelson have managed.
All the computers indicate that whatever caused it came from somewhere in the Pacific.
We'll start searching that area immediately.
Did you know that you can subscribe to the channel for free if you have Amazon Prime? It's true. All you have to do is sign into your Amazon account, and then go to gaming.amazon.com. On the left side of the screen, under your name, it will ask you to link your Twitch account. Once that's done, just head over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/gamersledge. You'll have an option to subscribe using your Twitch Prime. It costs you nothing, but helps support the channel. There is one catch: it runs out in 30 days, so make sure you come back and click the subscribe button again next month if you want to continue supporting great shows like this one. Thanks for helping. Be excellent to each other. And game on.
There's new items in the merch store. Head to bit.ly/gamersledge-merch. That's all one word, Gamers, Ledge, Merch, to check out the newest, latest and greatest gifts like mugs, t-shirts, mouse pads, stickers and more. Show some love for the show creators. They get a cut from each item sold, whether it is a Notice Me Senpai DM t-shirt, or a mug that helps you clarify when a point needs to be made in conversation. There's still a few minutes left in the break. You've got time? We will be here when you get back. Visit bit.ly/gamersledge-merch. Be excellent to each other and merch. I mean, game on.
And welcome back, everyone. Where we left off, the menagerie had set out about finding the missing Floon, friend of Volo. They headed to the Skewered Dragon and met a man named Solomil Silverfingers. And after several games of drow chess and drinking, he revealed that Floon had been drinking with Renaer Neverember, son of the reviled former Open Lord of Waterdeep and now current Lord of Neverwinter. The two left the inn and were followed by 5 hooded men, leading the menagerie to this warehouse to hopefully find Floon. And we rejoin with everybody.
Is it Silverfinger or was it Silverhand?
It was Silverhand, excuse me.
Okay. Cool.
I misspoke.
Because I was like imagining like a dwarf
Johnny Silverhand.
from like side. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was picturing.
Yeah, no, not nearly as cool. Definitely is punk rock, but not nearly as cool. So,
Well, being underground, that is. Dwarves being from underground, yeah. You know, punk rock makes sense.
So Zakusu, as you slither through the gate, this is where you can kind of see what I was describing previously. You have the door to the north, just northeast of you, and above it, burned into the wood, you can see a crude version of the Zentrum symbol. To the southeast of you is the giant loading dock door, and then just to the right of that, on the second story, is the locked window, or the window that's up there that may or may not be locked, but it's probably locked if they were smart. I'm thinking Zek didn't hear any of that.
I heard it and I asked a question, but I not only had this on mute, I had Zoom on mute.
Nice.
Is the snake symbol a specific type of snake?
Like, if you were going to guess what it was, yes. Hold on one second. Actually, stand by one. Okay, to answer your question, we're going to go to a different screen here so that I can show
Let's
you.
go to the prop.
That's right. So that's what it looks like.
Oh, a flying snake.
It is a flying snake. Or it could be like a Chinese dragon, sort of ish. But yes, that's what it looks like.
Weird ceremonial blade. Okay, is there a gap underneath the store?
Sorry, stand by. I'm on the wrong I'm on the stream. Hold on one second. Okay, can you ping again?
Was the door to the north of me?
There is not a gap.
Okay. I'm going to go against the door and listen.
Okay. Make me a perception check, please.
That is a very thick door. And I will move. What did you say this wall was? Like a loading door?
The big one to the south here, starting here.
No, the one to the east of me.
No, that's a wall.
That's a wall.
So if you look, northwest is a door here. This is the big loading door.
You say here, but I can't see what you're indicating.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They can't see what you see on the. They're seeing what you see on the stream, which is a black wall.
Yes, I'm asking what you don't see my pings.
No.
Okay, so due south of you, the giant door.
Which is this, right?
No, that is still the wall.
This is the door.
That is the door.
Oh, I had them flipped. Okay.
And then the to the south of that big door, that's the window on the second story. Yes.
This is the window on the second story.
Correct.
Okay. So is there a gap anywhere around the big door?
No.
Okay.
This is even though it's ramshackle, it's sealed pretty tightly.
A 17 for perception check trying to listen through that door.
You definitely hear movement inside.
Okay. And do both of these doors look like they have locks on them on the outside that I can see?
A great question. It does look like there are locks on them that could probably be picked.
Okay.
Yeah.
This gate.
Mm-hmm.
Is it locked from the inside?
Actually, it does not appear to be locked.
Zek will move here.
Okay.
And kind of try to worm his body, trying to push the gate open a little bit.
Yeah. You can.
Does it open?
It starts to.
Okay. He'll open it just a little bit so that he can get his snaky body out.
Okay.
Love you, buddy. And then he'll move back up to the people and describe what he saw. There's an open area which you can actually see. Everything I saw, you can see by peeking around that corner into the courtyard. And he'll put the jacket back on and put the bandolier back on and take the bag of holding back. But if you stand here and peek around the corner, there is a small courtyard with a small door and to the north, and a larger loading door to the east. And then there's a window on the second story further east and south. The doors look locked, but that you might be able to pick them. The gate seems to be unlocked completely.
Okay. And there's nobody there.
Not that I saw. I heard movement past the big door, but I didn't hear anything from the northern door. It was either the door was thick or maybe I was just slithering around too much.
All right, well, let's try sneaking on over there then.
Okay, everybody's going to attempt to be stealthy. Then I need.
I know I am.
Then I need.
I know I am.
Stealth checks from everybody, please.
Apropos, since I can't see.
Oh, wow.
13.
Okay.
19 for Zek.
Okay. Move yourselves where you want to be, please. And in what order? Because actually, I don't know.
Squawk, squawk, crash. Crock, squawk, crash. Squawk, crash. Squawk, squawk.
It's not quite. It's not quite
Fold
that
your
bad.
rings in. Jeez.
Yeah, it's not quite that bad. Unlike
You're knocking over all of the garbage.
Caleb is the one knocking over all the garbage cans. He's kicking cans. He's rolling them down the hill. It's pretty crazy.
I stop here in futile, like, okay, I just need a minute to gather myself.
Okay.
We're standing next to an outside wall, or
Yes, that is the outside wall of the building.
is it climbable?
I'll actually get up to the top of the hill. That's the gate.
No. I mean, anything's climbable, quote unquote, but no.
How tall is it?
It's a 2-story building, so
20 feet?
yeah, 20, 25 feet, somewhere in there. It's a warehouse, so it's a little bit bigger.
But didn't you say that the buildings here were like super, super tall?
Yeah. So actually, it'd probably be larger than that. I didn't have height in my thing, but yeah. probably 40 feet, something like that.
It makes a difference on what we're doing next.
Yeah.
Zek will pull out the 50-foot rope,
60-foot rope.
60-foot rope.
Wait,
and
don't we have that rope that keeps expanding?
Zek will pull out the 60-foot rope of expansion.
The 70-foot rope, the 80-foot rope, the 90-foot rope.
It
Zek will-
knots to 50 feet.
And Zek will do his snake thing. He'll pull out his flute and silently play his flute, and the rope will start like slithering up the side of the building.
Okay, but where you're at is actually the gate to the courtyard.
Sorry. Once he started looking at the wall, there.
Oh, okay.
And he'll give Mephiles another way in.
Okay.
Using the rope.
Give me 1 second. I have to figure this out.
I figured you would. Because you've done it to me enough times.
Yep, stand by 1.
And then Zek is going to jump in the hole.
And the genie doesn't catch you, and you die.
It's fine. I'm alive in 2 weeks, so that's up for the GM to figure out how that happened.
Yeah, pretty much. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. So you're doing that, so that's going to equate to that. Okay, great. Yeah, no problem. So actually, yeah, so the rope will give you enough to climb up to the roof, but there's not any windows on that side. The only window that you've seen, just FYI, is...
So, did you want to get into the roof, or did you want to get into the second story? Or the third story? Or second story,
second
right,
story.
Mark?
Yeah, second story.
Well, I have no idea. I don't know the entire layout of the building, so
So Zach, the only second story window that you've seen
is that one. It's inside the courtyard. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. I just don't know if Nicholas wants to be on the roof.
I was going to check it out.
Yeah.
See if
Yep.
I just don't know.
Yeah, no, you're good. I meant feel free to climb up, or I'll move the rope to the window. That's what I'm asking you. Which you want me to do?
And the windows in the northern part of the courtyard, or
southeastern wall.
And it's south of the loading dock.
Yep.
Door.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, then we should probably go over there so I can see if we can get in through that window, or I can see if anything's going on inside the building.
Hey, Mark?
Yes, sir.
Can you remind me how this rope works?
Yeah, so... Rope of climbing. So, it's a silk rope that can hold up to 3,000 pounds. If you hold the rope and use an action to speak the command word, the rope animates. As a bonus action, you can command the other end to move towards the destination you choose. That end moves 10 feet on your turn when you first command it, and 10 feet on each additional turn until reaching its destination up to its maximum length away, or you tell it to stop. You can also tell the rope to fasten itself securely to an object, or unfasten itself, to knot or unknot itself, or to coil itself for carrying. If you tell the rope to knot, it becomes a 50-foot length rope and grabs advantage checks on climbing checks.
Okay, so Zek is going to grab the bottom end of the rope.
Yes,
and he's going to have it tie itself in knots.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to say, climb up, Mephiles, here where you can be a little bit more noisy.
Well, I'm not worried about noise. I think if we can spy if that window's
unlocked. I'm gonna have a Mephiles balloon.
So you guys are moving to the window.
Yeah, he's gonna be at the top of the rope.
Yep, I'm with
you. And I'm going to have the rope fasten itself next to the window, with Mephiles on the top end of it.
Got it. I'm going to say did you make me a stealth roll already?
I did 19.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. You're practically silent. At least you think so in your head.
I'm
as
fairly
you-
certain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you bring the Mythalus balloon over to the window.
This is great.
I'm trying to see. So that's that section. Sorry, I'm working in 3D here, trying to figure out where you're looking. Let me see here.
I love that sigh.
No, I'm just trying to figure out what's.
Why did they have to have a window here? They could have easily not had a
Yeah,
window
pretty
here.
much. Pretty much. It's pretty much that. It's the problem is that the map is split into 2 floors, and that's not the problem. But the problem is that the bottom floor has Z-axis features, so I don't know if they're on floor 1 or floor 2, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to read all the descriptions to figure out where it is. Okay, so if I do that one. Okay, I'm going to say that that is on floor 1. So then on floor 2 is going to see that. Okay, so what you see up here is you see it's kind of an open second level, and it's stacked with crates, and you can see parts, but you can't really see too well from where you're at. Parts up to the north overlooks the main floor of the warehouse, but not all of it, if that makes sense. You can see crates filled with all sorts of junk, including moth-eaten bolts of cloth, bottles of spoiled olive oil, and hundreds of pairs of wooden sole sandals that were all the rage last summer, but are now out of fashion.
Is the window hinged, or can it be opened at all?
It looks like you could probably open it with your thieves' tools. And I need to go for just 1 second. I'll be right back. Dead air. Enjoy, everybody.
Just so everyone
You care to
knows,
go in and check it out, or just tell you what's going on in there?
that's up to you. That's up to you. Just so you guys know, Roll20 has a whole bunch of systems that you can easily use with a subscribed or free account. As a GM, selecting what types of games you want to run. Everything from Star Trek Adventures to D&D to Savage Worlds is available on Roll20, as well as multiple additional books of the system, giving you access to monsters and feats and equipment that really kind of step up your game. Not that we're getting paid by any means by Roll20, but it's a pretty awesome way to play with your friends who are all over the world.
Are we doing ads while playing now?
I am.
Because, man, let me tell you guys about Magic the Gathering. Fun, addictive game. If you have the money, it is worth it. You can become addictive to opening packs and sniffing those new open packs. So, highly recommend it.
It's been a long time since I purchased Magic cards. I did today. I bought one of the Forgotten Realms 10 boosters and a enlarged D20 packs.
Oh yeah, the fat packs.
Yeah, the opening the cards, it brought back a lot of memories, and it has a lot of really neat D&D theme stuff in the pack.
Yeah, that's why whenever I see characters or hear characters in this game, I'm like, wait a minute, isn't there a magic card for this now?
Can't I summon that guy?
So yeah, Magic Gathering. Give me some free stuff, please.
All right, Dan, do I have inspiration cards, or is those Mark's cards above the name?
You do not. It looks like currently DM Bolt has one, Zek has one, Neo has one.
Yeah, it looks like Mark has 2.
Oh.
Now the question is, does he have two on purpose?
That is a good question. One of us is going to die thanks to it.
It'll probably be Zach, so we're probably safe.
You're not wrong. I'll show him freaking Mythos balloon.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back.
You're good.
A guy comes out and shoots Zek point blank in the forehead with an AK-47. How he got it, I don't know.
I mean, while that would...
That's where that
Well, I
went.
know you
Damn
want
it.
that because you just want to start your next character. That is not going to... That did not happen.
You're not wrong.
But we have much more to do with this character, so I'm good. So yeah, Mythos, you're pretty sure you could probably use your thieves' tools to pick the lock on the window here, if that is the route you wish to go.
Yep. Why did it take? It's proficient. I don't know if it's.
I have not seen a roll yet.
Yeah. I'm clicking on it, but nothing's happening. Proficient attributes is dexterity. Would be wine.
Am I in front of a door?
You.
In front of the gate.
You're in front of the gate.
There we go.
Yeah, you easily spring the lock silently and are able to open the window without a sound.
Entrez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
Okay. So, Mythos climbs into the window.
Why is it? I don't know what it's doing right now. I'm just trying to close out a window.
Ignore. Okay.
There we go.
So you are there.
Oh, let me adjust my map because it just moved.
Yes.
I don't see anybody.
You do not see a single soul.
I'm assuming I'm on the second floor then.
You are on the second floor.
Now, is there just a really high ceiling, or does it look like there's a third and fourth floor?
No, really, it's tall. There is not a third or fourth floor.
Okay. Do I hear voices?
You do not at the moment. No.
Is that stairs to the north that I see, like going down? Is that what I see?
Yes.
All right. Heading along the wall, head north.
Okay, but that's your action, and now we need to find out what everybody else is doing. Is anyone else going up to the second floor with him, or are you going a different direction? What are each of you do? Caleb, Autumn, Quark, Itali, and Zek.
Why didn't they take this door?
We actually did. We
Oh.
quietly walked through that door. That's how we got over here.
Yeah, it's open right now, so you don't need to worry about.
It's just a gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just hang right here and keep watch just in case anybody comes around.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll enter, or Quark will enter into the courtyard. Is it okay if I move the torch in here? All I'm seeing is shadows from the fence.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
So there. So he'll mosey up this way and kind of. This was the door to the north that he had said.
Yeah, that's the door to the north. Right by Zekusu is the open window on the second story that you could fly up to, or climb up the rope, your choice. And then there's a giant set of doors right by Itali. Looks like a bay loading door of some kind.
Okay. So we'll cross over to Zek and whisper, "What's up with the rope?" I can't whisper in a British accent, so.
Not with that attitude,
We got
no.
Mythos up to the second story. to the window.
He went inside.
Yep. So listen for screaming. That's how we'll know.
I'll put my head back out and look down at Zakusu. Just shake it.
I'm actually just going to say, for the record, your British whispering does sound like a serial killer, so please go with that. He's like horribly pleasant bird person by day, British serial killer by night.
Oh,
I will peck your eyes out.
Do you think he needs assistance?
don't struggle.
Now that I think about it, you do fly far away at night.
Oh, Zach left.
I'm here.
Oh, he's here. Do you think he needs assistance?
He might use it. But you've been very loud, and I think he's trying to be very quiet.
This is true.
You could try and climb the rope.
I could. Let's give it a go.
You have advantage.
Athletics.
Is there climbing?
No, it's
skill?
athletics.
Yeah, athletics.
You said advantage, right?
With
So-
advantage, that is correct. Yeah, no problem. You're able to climb the rope without any issue silently.
All right. And I'll sneak in the window and see him heading toward the stairs and pass on to the others.
I am going to copy the torch so that you can have a light source up there with you. Otherwise, you're not going to see a whole lot. Paste.
Copy and then pasta the search.
And then move you into complete darkness, and then move you up by Neathless. There we go. That's about where you're at right now. And Neathless, you see Quark climb through the window silently behind you to the south. Caleb and Autumn, what are you guys going to do?
I will go by where Tally is.
Okay. And you're just going to wait there?
Yeah.
Okay. Caleb?
Is this door over here locked? Do we know?
The
north one?
Yeah, no one has tried it yet.
I'm going to try it.
Okay. It is
Hey,
locked.
If you need help, I can help you. I'll try using thieves' tools that I got.
Okay.
Let's see, where's it at? Attribute, dexterity.
It should be, yep, there you go. You're able to easily catch the lock and locking mechanism and open it.
All right, well, there you go, bud. See ya. If you scream, I know something bad happened.
This group is so funny.
So, Caleb, you're going to proceed inside?
Cautiously, slowly, I'm going to take my time. I want to listen first. I'll
Mm-hmm.
do everything that I've seen the people that seem to know what they're doing do.
All right, make me a perception check first.
Okay.
Okay. And then make me a stealth check second.
All right. Here we go. This is where I crap the bed.
Wow.
Goodness.
Can I call it or can I call it?
So
I'm glad I stayed behind.
you... Okay, so it's going to happen in this order. You open the door, and it slams open against the... So it opens up and then, like, just continues to open.
Uh-huh.
And the recent rolls can't be... They show on my... Oh, yeah, they show on my... Oh. It was scrolled up. Thank you. The door slams open, and right as that happens, the blue spark spits Leo out
Oh, thank goodness.
right next to you.
Oh, right next to me. Oh, good.
Oh yeah, right
This way
next
the
to you.
spellcasters can go in this door.
Yep. And you hear movement to the southeast of you, like around the corner there. You hear movement. And you're pretty sure that you hear 3 or 4 entities moving to the southeast.
Do I hear the door slam?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, you guys on the second floor especially also hear the door slam. It sounds like it came from downstairs.
Oh, man. Well, tree lady, looks like we gotta go.
Okay.
So
Zach's gonna pull the rope back down.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Autumn doing?
I'm gonna go.
You're going to go to the north?
Yeah, with them.
Through the door? Okay.
And Zach is going to attempt to bust open the giant door as
okay.
loud as he possibly can.
Okay. Give me a athletics check.
Athletics. Oh, that's wonderful. Just drop that on the table. $19 plus 1, so 20.
Okay. And then my only question is, before I tell you if this is a success or failure?
Yes, I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and flip it. Or I can flip it. Maybe.
6.
6. Perfect. Excellent.
26.
So, yeah, you kind of coil back and you just shoulder block into where the seams meet on the door, and it bangs open with a loud crash. If you thought that last one was loud, this one, for Methalus and Quark, who have no idea what's going on the second level, it sounds like a cart just crashed into the side of the building. And as you enter there, Zek, you now see what you see in front of you, and we will have everyone roll initiative.
No.
I'm not even in the same room.
Does it look like the things I see were moving in a different direction? Before they stopped short?
They were kind of moved easterly. I mean, they were kind of moving around the general area that they're in now. Yeah.
But they weren't moving towards the very loud other door?
No.
Ah, shucks. I did it for nothing.
7 from me.
7 for you. All right.
You did it all for love, Stan. All for love.
What is yours, Autumn?
12.
12? Okay. And 7 for Leo.
Hey, Mark?
Yes.
It looks like I'm 9 in the initiative, and I'm going to be off mic for a little bit.
Okay. Okay, and that's Leo, Quark, Itali, Caleb, Nicholas, Autumn, Zach. Okay, everybody's here. Except them.
Then who's they?
Okay, and then let's sort this by descending. Itali, you have first move.
Alright, so... Wow, I can't see anything in here. And that door that just busted was right behind us, right?
The door that you busted, or the one that Zach
That's
busted.
Zach busted.
It's to the southeast of you.
So it was the door that I was just at before I moved here.
Correct. The giant sliding doors.
Loading dock door.
Loading dock door.
All right. Then I will go to there just in case he needs help.
What's your movement?
4, 5, 30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, speed 30. So I can move up to there, and then I can move another 30 feet.
No, that's not 30 feet. You can go diagonal. So you'd have gone where Leo is, and then down one diagonal. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. You can make it to here in one movement.
Okay, then I'll move down to there. And then for my next movement...
I've got to move the stream. Hold on one second.
Sure.
I got to figure out the best way to do this. You know what? We're just going to do it this way. It'll be much easier.
Straddles both light and dark.
I'm just going to...
Mapius Revelius.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll keep some of the line of sight stuff, but...
Okay.
Yeah, that's better, I think, for the stream. Let me look.
So
Yeah,
for
that's
my second action, can I do stealthy stuff or no? Or is that a full action?
No, that would require... I mean, since you haven't moved, again, if you wanted to try to hide or stealth somewhere, you could... hold on. What are you trying to do? Let's.
Pretty much, I'm trying to get to this doorway here, but yet not be seen where I can see them, but they can't see me. And this way, I can shoot at them with the crossbow bolt.
Okay.
Or whatever.
So what I would say is, if you stay here, you don't have the bonus action ability like the thief to hide. So if you want to hide here and then try and sneak up next round, you can.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so roll your stealth. Okay, you're pretty sure that you're hidden. And that's your turn.
Yep.
Kenku's up next. Pulls out a short bow and shoots at Zek. And it immediately
Absolutely hits.
strikes you in the chest and hurts a lot.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then it tries to move. Caleb, you're up.
Do you have sound running?
I do.
Okay, so the voices I'm hearing are from that.
Yes.
All right. Leonardo, will you accept the spell from?
What do you need?
Yeah.
No, I think he said, "What do you need?"
No, I asked, will you accept the spell?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'm gonna twin mage armor. One for me, one for him.
Very good. And you see a bright shimmering over both of you.
All right.
And then
That's me.
Oh, you're not going to move?
I don't see what is in this. What is attacking, I guess.
Yeah, you're right next to a giant stack of boxes. That's why you can't see anything there. You'll probably need to move.
There's also weird shadows going on in here, buddy.
Yep.
Okay. Then I will move forward, I guess.
And that's as far as you get on your turn. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Lethalus, you are up next.
I also cast Mage Armor on myself.
Very good.
This I can't ping. Is this a door right here? This half wall or whatever it looks like? I'm not moving there. I just what is it? I don't know what it is.
It's kind of like an arm for moving large, heavy boxes.
Oh, like a crane. Okay.
Yeah, kind
of. Then I'm moving forward to the toward the stairs.
Okay. So, just FYI, you'll have to go the way it shows. So, you'll need to go to the far end, and then you can go down.
Actually, can I use my bonus action to dash and get all the way up?
Yep, you sure can.
Yeah, these are not what I expected.
Like, what is this? Why does it get dark right here? Oh, that's never mind. Never mind. Sorry, my bad. And that's my move, I guess.
While you're there, I'm gonna move you for just 1 second. Just to give you an idea of what you're seeing in this area, the opens. Oh, actually, I already told you what you see up here. Yeah, it's basically a lot of junk at this point. There's some more stacked boxes to your east, and then you can kind of see the. I think you can kind of see the hints of a further alcove up to the northeast. But that's your turn. This one. Comes to here, and we'll use his short bow. Does an 18 hit? Zakuzu?
Yes.
So that one hits you in the arm
Additional
for
4.
Yep, 4. And then he steps back. Autumn, you are up.
Can I use Healing Word to help?
Zach?
Yeah.
So if you go to, like, close to where Atali is, yes.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can, what's the range on Healing Word? That's the one that's 60, right?
60 feet?
Yeah. So, yep, absolutely. And what does he get to roll for that?
1d4.
1d4.
I think she does.
Oh, you roll it. I'm sorry.
I have to roll.
Yep.
D4
plus.
Is it D4? Yeah.
Yeah. So 8 total.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
And you feel a branch of hers extend past the side of your head, and you feel better. And then the Kenku that is staring directly at you pulls out his short bow. And it he looks a little flabbergasted, and he flutters his wings as he shoots, and it goes wide.
Son of a gun.
What? It goes wide?
No, I have the flip missiles.
Oh. That's a thing.
We haven't been up against ranged things. Turn me off.
Okay.
And now that I said it, none of them are going to be shooting
for
at me.
several.
Zach, it's your turn.
All right. Zach is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You know what? While you move, hold on 1 second. As you kind of move into the room and take it in as you move up there, tables and chairs have been carelessly tossed across the floor. The corpses of a dozen men lie along the walls, and their rapiers and daggers are lying nearby. And that's what you see right there.
The people on the ground, are they humans, elves?
Humans.
And does it look like they have very obvious tattoos?
You probably wouldn't get that level of detail running across the room at this moment.
We're here to save someone. We are enemies of them, and I point to the ones on the ground, and then I will spend a key point. Actually, I'm gonna, because of the description change, Mark. So I'm gonna go here.
Okay, sure.
And I'm going to say what I said. And then I'm going to spend a key point for patient defense.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm not going to. I'm gonna have my hands out, saying we're enemies of them. We're here to rescue someone.
Okay. Leo, it is your turn.
I'm going to shout out, say, we understand. If you do not wish to fight us, we don't seek a fight. And then, I didn't miss a long rest, did I? Or did we get one in?
No, we did not.
You did not.
Okay. My goal at the moment will be to move to a position where I believe my goal is to cast web and to hit as many of them as possible in the web. And that has a range of 60 feet, and it's a 20-foot cube from points. Yep. So I don't know. All I can see is the stream's level of detail here. So I roll 20, still messing up. So I don't know where I would need to move in order to have a reasonable visual to be able to hit as many as I can with a web.
So in this particular case, you've got all these boxes just to your northeast obscuring your vision. You can see about what the stream sees right now. So if you want, so you're going to have to make your best educated guess where to move, which way to move from that.
Right. So to my understanding, it looks like there are multiple Kenku combatants behind the set of boxes that Caleb is moving towards.
Correct.
Okay. And so again, I'm going to shout out that reply, we understand. We don't aim to harm you. And then I'm going to cast web. Let's see, I'm not going to be able to hit the one below that I can see, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. No, I won't. So I'm going to cast it so that I am going to hit just those two. So if you take like the one from like the one above the top left position and then go over 2 and down 2, then there's my 20-foot cube, like, you know, slightly above where they are in case there's more in that cover.
Okay.
Is my intent to hit. I can't ping it, but essentially the square to the bottom right of the one. I can see your mouse where you're moving it though.
So
the
like
square
this area?
I can't see where your mouse actually is.
5, 10, 15. So
when you come over the stream, it actually cuts onto somebody else's image.
I see.
But,
are you looking at this one?
Just down and right from there.
So you want to go
here?
There, and then it goes 10 feet in each direction from that point, right? Because it's 20 feet
5,
cube.
10.
Would that make it a 25-foot cube?
5, 10. I think that's right.
I guess I have to pick the intersection. So yeah, the intersection there.
This one
here
or this one?
So like the intersection on the left-hand side of those, because it's a 20-foot cube. It's not a 25-foot cube, so I can't include the actual square.
So the intersection below this.
Yeah, and to the right.
So here.
So like up and right of that is the point that I need to choose. Down and left.
Oh, I think he wants here.
Down 1. You're pretty much right there.
There.
Anyway.
And then 10 feet.
Yep, there. That green thing was perfect. Yep, and then 10 feet in each direction.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Sorry about making this complicated.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Working.
You're fine. That's what we got to do when we can't see what we're doing. Yep. I see. Okay, great. Is it DC check on their end.
Sorry. I just set it up. Web.
Can you see that white box?
Yes,
Or
thank
it
you.
might be too white. Okay.
I think that's 2, 5. No, that's right. Yep.
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 Webs layered over a flat surface of a depth of 5 feet. Each creature that starts its turn in the web or that enters them during its turn must make a dex saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is restrained.
Got it. So nothing happens till their turn.
As long as it remains in the web or until it breaks free.
What's the DC on the dex save?
It just shows dex save. I don't know if that would be
Well,
against
so
my spellcasting
it's-
ability.
Yeah, it's against your DC, which is going to be 8 plus your proficiency plus your
Yeah, so my spell save DC is 14.
14. Okay.
Perfect.
Right?
That sounds about right, yeah.
I'm just making a note for myself. Okay. Are you moving anywhere else, Leo?
Wherever I had to affect that cast, essentially, and then trying to find cover once again.
Well, okay, so
Something
that's,
reasonably close to Caleb, but
so
still
are you
seeking
going
cover.
Yeah, are you going north around the boxes, or are you going south so that you can see the loading gate? See through the loading gate. That's the question.
Right. I guess I would say that we came from the north?
You came from the west.
You dropped in right where you are.
Yeah, you dropped in right there from the blue spark, but everybody else came from the west, southwest.
Zakushi broke through the big doors, and everyone else kind of went through the top door and then came back or whatever. But you have to go around the boxes that you're kind of hiding behind right now.
Yeah, I'll move around the boxes and then I'll just take cover by Caleb if I have the movement speed to affect that. If I don't, then I'll just take cover around the boxes.
So 1, 2, 3. What's your movement speed?
30.
So 6.
5, 6. You want to be there?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right. That brings us then to Quark.
So, on my map, what is that feature there? It looks like a door.
It's a giant door that's on the ground.
So it's like a hatch to go down.
No, it's a giant door laying on the ground.
Oh, it's just a giant door lying on. Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trash and stuff up here.
Okay. So I haven't done this before because I kind of forgot about it. But like, if you're a wizard or a spellcaster, or you have the spell fly cast on you, can do a combination of your walking and flying. Because I innately have flying, can I do both like that?
Negative.
Or no? I can only do one or the other.
Yeah, to my knowledge.
Well, I guess since I'm already here, and you said this was a pretty high room, so would I be able to fly towards the staircase?
Absolutely.
All right, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and I guess I'll park right there. Yeah, not much else I can do, so that it.
You could use your action to go another set of movement if you wanted to.
Make a dash
true.
action.
Make a dash, that's right. Forget about dash.
Yeah.
And this is too narrow and small, I'm assuming, to fly, so I'd have to do it on foot, right?
You would, yes.
So if I do that to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that would get me to the first part of the stairs.
Yep. Okay. Then next up, okay, so I gotta make a DC check, and it is a dexterity check. Was it a dex save or a dex check, Leo? Save. So he succeeds, not restrained, and regardless, he will uses short bow on Zek.
So my impassioned speech did nothing. Disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Sorry, I'm just gonna roll it again.
I'm patient defense.
Yep, I'm just gonna roll it again. Take the lower of the two. So 15 does not hit
Misses.
you, correct? Yep.
Yeah. Correct.
So it flies wide, and he then.
We don't have a quarrel with you.
Moves over there.
Did he fly? Run?
He ran. He kind of scrambled over these boxes.
Okay.
And ran over there. That brings us back to the top tally.
All right, so obviously these things are not listening to Zach. Let's see.
And you just saw one dash to the south across.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna stop. I'm going to try shooting one with the crossbow bolt.
Okay.
And I'll use the cantrip clockwork bolt on the whatever I'm shooting.
Very good.
We're not here to hurt you. Die, die, die.
Yeah. You're not there to hurt them. Oh, that's obviously gonna miss.
That obviously misses. It flies wide and clatters against the back wall.
Alright, let's see. For my last...
All you've got left at this point, I think, is a move.
Yeah. Gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there.
Okay, you do realize you're on the other side of a wall from him, right?
Yeah, defending myself.
Okay, I just want to make sure if you were going to try and hit him next turn, you can't unless you step through the door, etc., because you're on the other side of the end of the wall. Just
Yeah, if he's willing to run this far, then he's willing to run out to the other side, and then I'll hit him.
Got it. This one makes his check. And is restrained and cannot do anything. He starts flapping his wings in a panic and only embeds himself more in the web. Caleb. Mythos, you're on deck.
All right. I'm going to move there, and I am going to intimidate them into stopping.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep, go ahead. And what are you saying to them?
Stop, or you'll be roasted, plucked, and served. Not necessarily in that order.
Wait, are these bird people?
Yes.
Quark, why can't you talk to them?
I'm upstairs.
Oh.
That one puts his weapons down. Give me 1 second. Okay. That one seems to be listening for the moment. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Caleb?
No, I'm just trying to back Zek's place. It's not, he made this move to back my kicking the door open over there by accident. So,
Mythalus, it's your action.
You said there was another alcove up here?
To the northeast, yes.
Am I hearing anything from there?
Not at the moment.
Do I know how many enemies are downstairs?
You just hear that there's fighting going on.
I'm assuming you have to move me down the stairs to switch my...
Yes. Which would bring you... So dumb how they did this. Yes, it will bring you... Not there. Hold on. I'm still moving you. There. So that would be four squares to get there.
I don't see anybody.
There's a huge number of boxes to your south that's probably blocking line of sight to anything.
Then I will continue to move. To here.
Okay.
Is that the one that Caleb got to toss down his weapon?
Which one?
It looks...
That one? Yes, that's it is currently putting its weapons down. Or seems to be.
Then I'll use dash to get further.
Okay.
There.
Okay. You still have more movement if you want to use it.
Do I still have an attack though? Since dash is a bonus action to me.
Yeah, but you do still. Yes, that is correct.
All right, this one. Okay, apparently I don't just click it. If I hold it, I can do it. That one's fighting though.
That one is currently restrained in webbing.
Would that give me advantage on my shot?
Yes, it would. Actually, yeah, it would. Because he's not on the ground. And he can't move.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely hits. Click the short bow to roll your crit damage. And then I assume you're doing sneak attack as well.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, to be honest. Your bolt just goes right through its skull and out one of its eyes. And it stops squirming in the webbing.
At that point, yell, does anybody else have a problem? Nice. I don't know if anybody else still has a problem, but that's what I was yelling.
This one steps to here and sees its partner lowering his weapons and actually fires on him.
Fires on who?
The Kenku that's putting his weapons down.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, it bounces off some of the boxes and whizzes past Caleb's head, but it does not hit anyone. And then he goes to move back to there. Autumn, it is your turn.
Is there any, like, if I want to do entangled, 90 feet?
Yep. So from where you're at right now, I think you can see the one down here. You can definitely see that one. And that's all you can see from where you are. If you move a little more, you might be able to see others, but right now that's what you can see.
So can I do entangled?
Yeah, which one do you want to do it on? The one over here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then what's the what? It's a saving throw on his part, right?
Yes.
And what kind of saving throw is it? No problem. Let's see.
It's one action.
Yeah, that's how much it costs.
Okay.
And it should be a...
Strength check against your DC.
Yeah. Okay, great. So your DC is... Gotta find it on the character sheets. Hold on. 14. Alright, so strength check.
Oh, it's just a strength saving throw. Yeah, strength saving throw.
DC 14. Alright, group check. Strength save. Yeah, he definitely fails and is now greenery pops up from the floor and vines begin to entangle him and he starts squawking loudly trying to break free but can't seem to. And this particular one needs to actually make a check against dex save against, and he fails. So as he's putting his weapons down, his wings become entangled in the web, and then he starts panicking and is getting more and more caught in the web as well. Zach, it's your turn.
So Zach is going to do a dex save.
And you succeed.
And he will move 1, 2, 3 here.
Okay.
And strike out with a spear because this one went to shoot his own guy. So he's going to attempt with the spear.
That definitely hits.
For max damage, or 8 damage.
Okay.
Yep. And then I will. He's still up, right?
He is.
I will spend a point to do flurry of blows.
Okay.
So I will roll unarmed.
Okay, that definitely hits.
For that damage.
Okay, and our I'm going to ask one time moving forward. If you are doing non-lethal, make sure you tell me before you roll damage.
Okay.
Are you doing non-lethal?
No.
Okay.
And he needs to make a strength save.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Because you punch through him, and he crumples to the ground.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I'll do my second flurry of blows.
Mm-hmm.
For 17.
That definitely hits.
For 7 points.
And you strike him solidly, and you feel some bones, some hollow bones break.
And he needs a strength save.
Strength save it is. What's the DC?
DC 12.
He does not succeed.
So I will push him 10 feet up.
Okay.
Using the weight of my body as I come around, my giant snake tail smacks him along the side of his body, shoving him into the open doorway.
And he slides out into plain view of Autumn and Italy.
And that's me. Thank you.
Right. Leo, you are up.
I will forego killing the one that seems to have surrendered and just move to a position where if I can see the one that Zach's engaging, I'll try firebolting at it.
So if you move there, can you... Oh, you can only see the stream. Hold on a second. Stand by. Yeah, you can totally see him there.
Okay. So I will I'll firebolt at him.
Go right ahead.
It's a 16 plus some to hit.
That will hit.
Damage and... Sorry, thanks for your patience.
No problem.
We are going to do 8 damage.
And he explodes into flame, screaming, squawking, and then eventually collapses into a flaming pile on the ground. And at that point, all of them are either incapacitated or dead at that point. And the one continues to flap and try and escape the web, but obviously is not able to. But he is squawking and trying to get out of the web.
Are we still in combat?
You are not.
He's restrained?
He is restrained.
I would like
How long does web last?
1 hour.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah.
I would like to move here.
Okay.
And grapple him with my body.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do so easily.
And then I say, Leonardo, you can drop the web. If you have that capability.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Is it a concentration spell?
It's a conjuration. It does not require concentration.
Okay.
For the duration, webs aren't anchored between solid masses or layered across the floor, but they are.
I think you can
nothing
probably
about being able to dispel it. Sorry. I know how to make it.
Probably get rid of it, but it takes like an hour or two.
Webs dissolve after an hour.
Yes.
Interesting.
Duration, concentration up to 1 hour.
Up to.
Oh, and if it's concentration, then you can drop it. No problem.
Sorry, might have been my mistake. I didn't see any concentration on the spell card.
No problem. Triple check it.
Is there a little C? It can be hard to see on some of these spell cards, but there should be a little C.
I'm looking at the spell description right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it does say concentration. It's weird that it doesn't on the card, but yeah, it says it is concentration, so you can drop it in.
I pinch myself and the web disappears.
Very good. That is exactly how that happens too.
It's a shame your fellow folk did not take my warning. Do you understand me?
Xanathar sends its regards.
Did you hear that?
I'm looking for tattoos.
to move some feathers.
Follow the old signs in the sewers.
The old signs in the sewers?
Follow the old signs in the sewers.
That's where we'll find the handsome human?
Time, the pretty boy in the back room.
The back room in the sewers. Did you guys hear that?
So I thought, the dead humans, I'm assuming Floon is not one of them.
I heard two different people talking at the same time. So I'm going to squeeze harder and say, you better repeat yourself.
No time to loot the place. Just get into the boss.
Just came for the boss?
From the boss.
From the boss. What were you saying, Nicholas?
I was just going to say, I'm assuming that the dead bodies are not Flume. Did we look? Can we look?
Sure, you can look. And actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna make it so you can see everything that's in here. Not that you're gonna see any dead bodies, but since there's nothing threatening you at the moment, hold on.
I'm going to squeeze a little harder.
Can you
say,
pull?
Go ahead.
I'm just going to ask if you could pull Quark downstairs. I'm still stuck upstairs.
Oh.
Yeah, no problem.
Forever lost in the darkness. I'm going to squeeze a little harder and say, don't say anything yet. You're saying the pretty boy is in the sewers. We follow the signs, and you came here. You said, follow the signs in the sewers. You just came here for the boss. Pretty boy's in the back room. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have somebody double check that?
I will go back upstairs to the alcove. The extra alcove.
Okay, so I'm trying to explain this. These maps are not
easy.
There are two staircases here. There's the one that you can't see, that you came down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one next to it.
Here.
Okay.
Correct. So which one are you going?
And they both go up?
They both go up.
To different sections of the second story.
This one is more like it goes up a half a story.
Okay.
And there's a room back there.
Okay.
Somebody could check that. There was the extra alcove that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I'll go check.
I'll send both of you. Hold on 1 second. Meet the Lust first. You're up there, and Itali is after you, and there you go. You guys are up there now. You two feel free to move yourselves, and then when you get somewhere, I'll let you know what you find. And then I need to know what everybody else is doing downstairs while they do that.
Are these all dead?
The one by Zakusu is not dead. All the rest are.
If he struggles against me trying to break the grapple, I'm gonna punch him non-lethal.
Okay, he's like
a raven getting eaten by a large snake.
Yeah, kind of. he's not like super. He's not like limp, but he's pretty stiff and he's scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey Zach, will you handle that? Can you toss me that bag? I'm gonna go pick up some of this left behind gear.
I'm going to slide the bag out of my bandolier and hand it to Caleb, who's right next to me.
Yep.
Because I don't think I could throw it that far.
Okay.
The bag.
Want to go looting?
Yeah. All right. Let me see what you find here. So the corpses look like they belong to were 5 human Centaurum sellswords and 7 human Xanathar guild thugs. All of them are clad in leather armor.
Huh.
Each of the Zents has a black tattoo of a winged snake on either his neck or his forearm. And one of the Xanathar guild members has a black tattoo on the palm of his right hand that looks like a circle with 10 spokes radiating out from its circumference.
He must be a worshiper of Pelor, the sun god.
He doesn't say anything.
I'll relay the information back to everybody that's still downstairs with us, that we've got some of the guys with tattoos after we finish with that Kenku, and then I'm going to start unceremoniously just like ripping their leather armor off and throwing it into the bag as densely as possible.
Sure. I mean, it's how do I explain this? It looks like they've been in a battle that no one won. It's all bloodied and slashed, and it's not. I mean, you could probably sell it for scraps, but it's not going to be useful leather armor.
Perhaps their weapons or something. If I can tell that at a glance that this is not an efficient use of space. If there's anything worth, okay, I'm going to make should I just make an investigation check to see if there's anything of value on any of these people?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm trying to see if there actually is in here. It's pretty crappy.
Natural 1.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that there is. You did miss me saying it before, but there's some hundreds of shoes that were popular last season, but are completely out of vogue this season.
There's some great leather scraps here, so
yeah.
I'm going to proceed with original plan of just taking all of their leather armor.
Got it. Yeah, and you start stripping the bodies.
Great.
You made a lot of money with the mushrooms. You'll make a lot of money with these.
You think?
I hope so.
Autumn, Quark, Caleb, what are you guys doing in the meantime? So I'm going to put you over where they are, Leo.
I'm having a lot of sympathy for my cursed brethren. So I'm going to gather the corpses of the Zenku and try to give them some sort of dignity in their departure. Not going to loot the bodies because, well, I won't loot the bodies because I'm having sympathy for their plight and their flightlessness and the terrible things that happened to their ancestors that caused them to be such as they are.
Okay. All right. And you start doing that. Autumn, Caleb, what are you guys doing?
I thought I was carrying the bag for Leonardo.
Yeah, Leonardo took it from you and started looting the bodies of their leather clothing.
All right. I'll do a head count, look around, and try to make sure that we have everybody that we're supposed to have. And that one of our people hasn't disappeared also.
Just the 2 that you saw go upstairs, Itali and Methalus.
Okay. So I can see everybody else.
Yeah. How badly is the Kusu hurt?
He's barely. He has a bruise from where an arrow struck him, like almost centering chest, and it's starting to get dark purple. But other than that, he's moving. He's holding himself pretty well. along this Kenku.
Just another Tuesday for Zakusu.
He didn't drop to bleed out, so he's better today than normal.
Oh, thank God for the bullet sponge.
All right, I look around and checked everybody for wounds.
Nobody's injured except for Zakusu.
Then I too will cast Healing Word.
Okay. And while he does that, Autumn, what are you going to do?
I will go by Cork and see if he needs any help.
And what do you say to Cork to let him know you want to help?
Do you need any help?
Cork?
Oh, you're on mute, Matt.
Sorry. No, I've got them here. Their ancestors were cursed, leaving them in these unfortunate states. I don't really have anything else I can do for them now. I'm just I'm just trying to give them some sort of dignity in this undignified situation. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything more that can be done for these poor souls.
I'm here for you if you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Methalos, you don't find anything on the side that you're on right now other than that door to the north. That's the only place you've not been pretty much since you got up here. Itali, what you see on your side is pretty much the same thing. Bottles of spoiled olive oil, moth-eaten bolts of cloth, just mainly junk in this area.
I'm going to try to look at this box from a certain angle.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Do I see any invisible diamonds?
Yeah, you definitely try to line up the angles like before, and for the briefest of moments, you think you see the outline of an edge of one, but then when you reach your hand out, there's nothing there.
Damn those bird eyes. All right. Guess I'll continue trying to see what else I can find up here.
A door.
Oh, nothing there.
Caleb,
That's
make
where
me
you're
a perception check, please.
What?
Caleb, make me a perception check.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and Methalos, you go through the door.
Through?
Oh, are you going through the door? What are you doing?
I'm going to check the door.
Okay. Go ahead and check the door.
I'm actually just trying to listen to see if there's any sounds.
Okay. You think you hear scurrying.
I think back to the giant, disgusting rat. I call over to Itali. Hey, I got to know the door over here.
I'll go ahead and is it locked?
No, I didn't check it. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Oh, you could just open it, bud. I'll open it.
I heard rats. You know how I feel about rats.
And when you open it, I need
Wait till you find out what's in my pocket.
What has it got in its pockets? I really don't want to know why.
Not
Oh,
that
the
kind
mouse.
of not that kind of game. There we go. I need you both to roll initiative.
All right.
Son of a.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I need you to roll initiative again because it was still populated. Please roll again. Thank you.
Okay.
Italy, you go first.
All right. Or is it another bird person?
No, it's a rat.
It's a rat. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And not a giant rat. It's a rat.
It's a rat. Just a normal rat.
It's
All right.
squeaking menacingly at you.
All right. I'll go ahead and shoot it with the crossbow bolt. Yeah, that hit.
It becomes nailed to the floor right through the middle of it. It is quite dead. You don't need
Why would you? You need to roll initiative. I'm like, son of a gun.
I'm going to move you for 1 second here, JR.
All right.
Okay, so in this room, this seems to be a suite of offices that seem to be hardly used. The rooms have desks, chairs, and bare shelves covered with dust and draped in cobwebs. Some harmless rats skitter about. Mounted above each office door is a steel alarm belt. A steel alarm bell.
Is that what that thing is in the center?
No, that's the dead rat.
Check the desk for papers. See if there's any intelligence.
Give me a perception or investigation.
I'd like to investigate.
I'll be investigating myself.
I think this will work. Hold on 1 second. Reveal the top right. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that even works. Oh, yeah. It totally did. Okay. Show to players. Italy and Mythalos, you find a paper bird sitting in one of the desk drawers. And you can see what it does there. You can see it, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can see it.
Okay.
You know?
Do I have to roll the D6?
No. When you use it.
Oh, okay. How many do we get?
There is just a single one in this.
A single one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, pocket that.
Is that a window in the north wall?
That is a window in the north wall.
Okay. Seems pretty empty up here. I'm assuming this is a door.
Yep.
In the west wall.
Yep.
Is it locked?
It is not. And I can just go ahead and tell you there's nothing of further value up here.
Okay, cool.
Like anything of further value in there or throughout the whole floor?
In that office space. And there's not much else that you haven't looked at up here. Yeah, there's nothing else you haven't looked up at here.
Okay.
So are you saying don't worry about investigating the rest of the spot?
Yeah.
Okay. Head back downstairs.
Okay.
Assuming you have to do it.
I do. Boop. And boop. There we go. So, Zakusu, are you going to? He's not really struggling against you, but he's not super. He keeps twitching.
Until they find the guy, I'm gonna be holding on to this guy.
Got it.
There's nothing else upstairs.
But there were 2 stairwells. Did you guys go up the other stairwell?
It seems they both went up. Oh, I thought he put you up the other ones, and it just led to the second floor.
One goes up to the second floor. One goes up to floor half. My guess is since you both went up to floor 2, he's in floor half.
All right, let's hit floor half.
Floor
1.5.
Floor.
Okay, so who's going? Caleb, did you have an action?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go just in case there's another rat.
Okay.
Quark has been looking at his book of Paylor. He's gonna put it away and go over to the oh, my brain just died. Kenku that Zek is holding.
Yes.
And he's going to say, please, can you point to us where the pretty boy is?
Zek is like boa constricting him.
Point your head.
He does that crazy bird 180 plus turn of his head and towards this area.
And Zet turns it the extra 20 degrees, and then we don't have to worry about him anymore.
And he dies.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
Quark would not be very happy with you.
So yeah.
All right.
As the two of you head over here, you see that there is a door to a room that hangs loosely on broken hinges. The cramped chamber beyond smells strongly of sour fish and vinegar. It's filled with discarded ropes, canvas tarps, and splintered wood from smashed barrels. And remnants of rope bonds lie scattered about, and you can hear ragged breathing coming from under a tarp at the north end of the room.
Can I remove the tarp?
Yeah, Floon, is that you? Okay, he's tied up.
It's a mummy. Oh.
It's a mumbler. Go check on him, see we can.
Who's doing it? Is it Methalus or is it Itali?
Well, it's not a rat, so Methalus can do it.
Okay.
Thank you. How very kind.
So you, how are you doing this? Are you just pulling the tarp off of him, or are you?
Yeah, go ahead and pull the tarp.
Okay.
Do I have a description of Floon or no? I'm assuming I did.
Ask yourself, is this the handsome dude or no?
Yeah.
All blonde, good looking.
This is definitely a tall, pretty person, but
all right. Take the gag out.
Oh.
And ask him, are you Floon?
He shakes his head no. And he says the following.
The Zentarum thinks that my father embezzled a large amount of gold while he was open lord.
Hold on, that was the wrong one. My bad. Basically, he says, no, my name is Rainier.
Ah.
Are you looking for Floon? Is he all right?
I don't know if he's all right since I'm still looking for him. But
I believe the Zentarum took him.
Yeah, remove the bonds from his feet. I'm assuming he's still got his hands bound.
Yeah.
Stand him up, allow him to walk downstairs, and let's do this as a group.
He straightens and says thank you as and joins you downstairs. Stand by 1 second.
This is Rainier Nevermember? Never Ember? Never remember what I
1 moment. Stand by. I need stuff that's not in line of sight. Okay. Really? Okay. Okay. So he says, yes, I am Rainier Neverember, and I appreciate you rescuing me. The Zentrim jumped myself and my friend Floon, and I think they mistook Floon for me.
How lucky for you.
Not terribly. Floon is a good friend of mine, and I would not want to see him come to harm in my name. And it is at that moment that from the yard, stand by.
Oh man, there's a sniper.
No joke. Everything you see down there is exactly who comes through the door. Just trying to grab them all.
Zek is going to look over at Atali with a eyebrow raised and just shake his head.
Nobody used magic. The bird people did. We didn't.
Yes, we did.
I'm saying the bird people did. We didn't.
You hear the clomping of feet from the entrance, and 10 armed city watch arrive at your location. A hardened male...
That's 12.
12. Sorry, 12. Thank you. A hardened male human with a most fine oiled mustache, who has obviously seen his fair share of battle, heads them. He actually comes over to the oh my god, nothing's working. Okay. He comes over to Zakusu, and the two of the men step forward and take the Kenku that you're holding and actually bring him outside over here. And there's 3 of them and him, and you can see that they're talking to the Kenku. And if any of you make any motion to leave, you're told to stay exactly where you are. And after about 5 minutes, the man with the mustache walks back in and past all the men and kind of looks at everyone, and he actually asks, he basically says, you all need to come down here so that he can address everyone. Like so, and like so. And Cork. And Zek. And Caleb. And everyone can see that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure. There we go. Perfect. So, as he does that, as he has you all move down here, he kind of walks in front of each of you and looks at you for a moment and then moves on to the next. And he says, I am Captain Eustace Staggett. And he looks each of you up and down with a discerning eye. Every shopkeep, guild member, innkeeper, and tavern keeper in the dock ward knows me, but I don't know you. So I'll tell you this. I don't believe in rumors or gossip. I believe alcohol is the devil's path, and I don't let anger get the better of me. These men, and he points to the ones on the ground, the Xanathar Guild and the Zentrum, at each other's throats more and more lately. And then he moves in front of Rainier and straightens his jacket unthinkingly. And then he kind of pauses mid-sentence and he says, well, this changes things. And Rainier nods to Staggett, and Staggett nods back to him. And he looks at the rest of you and says, seeing as you have a noble with you, I'm going to overlook any infractions you may have committed tonight. And Rainier says, they rescued me, Captain. Staggett nods and hands you a scroll, which... There you go. He hands it to the tree, and you can all see... I'm going to share it with you in a moment. He says, this is the code legal. I strongly encourage you to read it in its entirety if you wish to stay out of a cell of the watch. But before you do whatever you plan on doing next, let me give you 3 pieces of free advice. Number 1, it's best not to meddle in criminal matters. Leave this dirty business to the City Watch. Number 2, not all City Watch officers are as nice as me. And number 3, keep the blood off the streets. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have anything to say for yourselves?
I'm good. Anybody else?
Sir, no, sir. Thank you,
I don't
sir.
see any blood on the streets. There's more than a single noble here this evening.
He walks up to you and he says, and he nods his head slightly. He says, that may be, my lord, but seeing as I don't know you, and you're obviously most likely not from the city, still nonetheless, I recommend you read the Code Legal.
It's been studied, Captain.
And he then makes a circle motion with his finger, and all of the watch leaves at that point.
Okay. Well, that explains why we keep getting into trouble with law, and sometimes we got a noble that's not known at all. Jeez.
Charlie, you know my family.
I know your what?
Family.
So,
do I?
Never remember. You said that you think they took Floon. Who took Floon?
The Xanathar Guild. He says, well, I mean, it looks like Floon is in the thick of it. I feel responsible. I'm sure they drug him to a Xanathar Guild hideout. I don't know about such things, but I do know someone who might know where that would be. You all rescued me. I think it's time that you meet a friend of mine. And he nods as the watch leaves. He said, let's let them go for a moment, and then I will take you to meet him, if that's all right with you.
How late is it?
As of right now, it's probably 6:30 p.m.
What if we meet them in the morning?
The problem is we're supposed to be rescuing this guy.
Yes, I don't know if the Xanathar Guild has him. I am afraid for his safety. We shouldn't tarry.
If we shouldn't be slow, then shouldn't we be leaving and just go in the opposite direction than the watch?
most likely, I know Staggett. He's most likely posted someone to stay for a few minutes to see what we do next. Unless you have some way of getting out of here unseen.
Or you could just give us the address.
Well, Rainier, let Rainier lead us on. We have to find Floon, and we need to find it. We need to find him swiftly. So,
And
if
yeah,
there's somebody who may know.
And the police kind of like the officers. Yeah, the officers kind of like turned a blind eye. So if we follow him, yeah, they won't. They'll keep a blind eye. Keep turning a blind eye, I guess.
And I can send you to Mertz, and I could surely write a letter if that is what you wish, but I would think you'd want an introduction to this person personally.
That would make it easier, Rainier.
We need you to be brave so that we can save your friend that is in danger because he looks like you.
I'm well aware, and as I said, I feel responsible for this.
Then let's go.
And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. As always, if you'd like to support us, you can do so on Twitch by clicking the follow button or by hitting the subscribe button to become one of our rock stars. On YouTube, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and, of course, the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. Last but not least, no matter where you're watching us, you can head over to patreon.com/gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks scrolling across our screen right now, our Patreon and Twitch producers. By the time you're watching this, more than likely we will have started a new giveaway. Make sure you check the website, vidgamenews.com or gamersledge.com for details on that. And for Sean, Matt, JR, for Daniel, Autumn, Lou, and I don't think I forgot anybody else. Until next time, be excellent to each other and game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Game on.
I need you closer than ever, ever than before. My life is wasted if I can't spend it all with you. I've lived in total darkness, now you're my only light. When you're away, I feel like a shadow in the night. Hold me, and look into my eyes. You'll be staying always by my side. I'll never let you go. No, I'll never let
You're watching HMN.